The last great Coliseum. We welcome you to coverage of the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, round number 2 of season 2 and the NASCAR Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And tonight it is the SimRacerHub.com 275. We're at the half mile. That is Bristol Motor Speedway. Good evening. Welcome to our coverage. I am Wesley Outland. William Tiller is alongside. We've got Adam Flieger working on our production behind the scenes. TJ Moore is series director, and we're ready to go for tonight's event, the Sim Racer Hub 275. And William, we're very exciting / optimistic of what this race will provide, especially, you could say, short track racing. This is going to be a pretty crazy race in round 2 of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. We talked about this off air. What kind of race this could be? Is it going to be that bang 'em up, the last truck, standing type of race, or are we going to have somebody dominate, lay down a lot of lines here at Bristol? And being as though it's the second race of the first round of the playoffs, we saw how frantic and crazy Charlotte was, Wesley. I think here tonight we're going to see even more fireworks.
Let's give you your starting lineup real quickly. Hunter Parsons is going to be the man on the pole. Joey Stiers, row number 1. Steve Barnett, obviously winner last week in the opening race of the playoffs, so starts third spot. Brian Chu will be 4th. Brady LaBeouf is 5th. Blake Lothian outside row 3. Justin White, Tyler Dittmer, he's back. Remember, he missed round 1 at Charlotte. He has got to put himself back in the win column to advance. Tyler Daniels, Jose Luis Rivera, your top 10 at Bristol.
Yeah, looking at that 11th spot, we have Adam Newton. DSR Electric Machine has been on a hot streak lately. Then we have Nathan Maurer, that 971 and 12th. 13th position is Kerry Tribute, and that's 7th. 14th position is going to be Zach Cartwick, and that's 71. 15th position is going to be Ed Osborne, that's 28. 16th position, Joey Doucette. 17th position, Tim Hammond. 18th position, Jeffrey Johnson Jr. And rounding out our top 20 is the 22 of Brennan Broadfoot and Jacob Klinkart in that one.
Chris Kynes will start 21st. Taylor Peacock of the 81, 22nd. Starting 23rd, Jason Morales and Brandon Bullock. Starting 25th, of course, the Robert Richards alongside Brandon Bullock and Ron Hunter, my apologies. Then it's Raul Meza, followed by Curtis Rogers. There's your lineup of 30 trucks ready to go here tonight at Bristol. There will be 3 stages tonight in the SimRacerHub.com 275. Stage 1 will go all the way to lap number 75. Stage 2 will be another 75 laps to lap 150. And then, of course, the final stage will be 125 laps. That's the distance to take you to lap number 275. And that will be the achievement of the race of trying to reach the checkered flag. 5 total sets of tires. Fuel capacity at 100%. I would say they can go at about 70 laps. We'll see as the green flag flies through the air. And we are underway here at Bristol. Incident point at 35. 3 attempts at green-white checker. And yes, William Tiller, we are racing at night. Can we make the screen full, please, so we can see the event? Underway, lap 1. Give it to the man, Joey Stiers, up in front. And we have a race here now, William. Stiers looks like he's going to lead the opening lap. Parsons in 2nd, Brian Chu 3rd. And we still can't see the full screen, Adam Flieger.
Yeah, I'm watching Hunter Parsons here in these first early laps, Wesley. He keeps going high around the racetrack, but already 4 laps into this race, drivers just sort of settling into this racetrack, sort of getting those tires up to speed. But Joey Stiers is separating already on the top of the grid.
There we go. Now the leaders work their way off the corner as we put another lap on the board. 5 laps of 275. Now, here's the thing. And by the way, I want to let you know something we've worked on with the ticker, and I think this is awesome, William, to help us out.
Oh, yeah.
The yellow on the ticker with the names are drivers that are in the Fast 20, in the Sweet 20 to make it in the playoffs. So, obviously, that'll be something that will help you along the way here at Bristol. But I'll be honest, man, this track is, whoa, look out.
Jose Luis Rivera on the front stretch. Caution's out. First caution of the night, Wesley. Sorry about that. Playoff drivers you were talking about.
So a Serve Pro caution will come out. This will be the first one of the evening, as my colleague William just reiterated on, and it's one of the playoff drivers, Jose Luis Rivera, losing it right there, coming out of turn number 4, and this will draw a caution out for the first time.
See how close that was, Wesley, on the front.
Good work by all those drivers to quickly stay to the bottom of the racetrack and avoid that. That'll bring out another Serve Pro caution, by the way. Serve Pro yellow flags for Nazareth Monday nights. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Thank you to Serve Pro. And again, as we were mentioning, if you see these drivers with the yellow ticker, they're on the playoffs. I'm not sure what the red means. I want to say that might mean they're outside the top. They're outside the top 16 right now to advance.
Oh, yeah. So like Tyler Dittmer, the man you were talking about coming into this race, he's on the outside looking in after missing that first race, Wesley. So only 2 races remaining in this first round. Tyler really needs a performance here tonight and a performance next week to make sure he advances.
All these drivers in yellow, again, as we mentioned right now, part of the playoff drivers. And right now, I guess in the Fast 16, that would advance on to the next round once we finish up with tonight's events here at Bristol. Obviously, we'll see how it all shakes down tonight as we're looking at the upcoming schedule. By the way, after the Bristol race, we're at Rockingham for the final race in the Sweet 20. And by the way, 6 drivers are going to be eliminated, William. And we're going to have the round of the second round of the playoffs will be at Milwaukee, 2 rounds only. That's your Fast 14.
What a playoff slate it has been here, though, Wesley, in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. The tracks that we go to, Bristol, Charlotte, we go to Rockingham, Milwaukee Mile. I mean, it's just a gauntlet of these tracks that drivers have to not only survive, they have to advance, and then at the end of everything, you get that championship, and you've done it through all the hardest tracks in the game.
Well, right now, as we mentioned again, Bristol half-mile racetrack. It is banked concrete. Last great Coliseum. You know, I know we always try to emphasize Talladega being that wild card in October for the Elite 10 finale to lock in the Championship 6, but make no mistake about it, this is a track that, and I was saying this when we came on the air, William, that right before the caution came out with Jose Luis Rivera, it is a small track. You can knock off laps very, very quickly. But, you know, we fear, will there be desperation and crazy antics and moves to cause a long plethora of yellow flags? And obviously we saw one very fast in the opening, 10 laps of the race. So.
Yeah, very early on here, Wesley, with those caution flags, and I think Serve Pro is going to get their money's worth here tonight in this race. That's for sure.
Lights off on the pace truck, and again, that Serve Pro caution will come to an end as the field looking to have Parsons and Stiers on the front row. Chew, one of those drivers on the outside looking in, as well as Lothian right there taking the green flag. We're back underway here at Bristol, and quickly, Joey Stiers, I ain't afraid of no ghost. It looks like he's got the ghost posters on the side of that truck, powers his way back to the top spot. Lothian up on the outside. Here comes Parsons. He'll try to creep back to the bottom, and just like that, we're back underway on lap 14.
Yeah, very frantic already. Goodyear Eagles aren't even flying yet. Wesley and drivers already battling for a position. There's Tyler Dittmer in that 34, currently on the outside looking in, but he's on the inside of Kerry Tribune. That 7 is across that start-finish line. Brian Chu on that cut line as well to the inside of one of the hottest drivers in Nazareth right now, Adam Newton in the 82 machine. 2x2 for those spots. Wesley, as again, we come down the front stretch.
Right now, back across the corner again as they'll work their way to the line. Another lap on the board as they're actually on the back stretch now. This is Barnett. Remember, Steve Barnett carrying all that momentum. Got himself a win last Monday night, non-playoff driver. in that number 42. And we got another yellow flag coming out over the racetrack. Short track racing at its finest. And we'll find out what happened. As right now, Chris Kynes, Team Realtree Chevrolet, spun down in the backstretch going to turn 3. And we'll find the replay here, William, and see what's under yellow flag now for the second time.
Yeah, let's check it out here. The Serve Pro caution flag, and that is the 29 machine right there that gets sideways. That's the Realtree machine of Chris Kynes, and Chris Kynes, you know, Wesley, one of those drivers that currently is not in that playoff chase, but you see it coming off the corner, just gets loose, and just, I mean, good on him not putting any damage on that 29.
Yeah, yellow flag out over the racetrack for that Chris Kynes machine, and putting us under caution here for the second time in the opening 20 laps. We'll try to reset them and try again here, as again, everybody is kind of intently watching the opening start of this race. And remember, they're going to go all the way to lap 75, which is kind of abnormal, William, you know, but this the size of the racetrack. That would be literally like 35, 40 laps on a big 1.5 mile track like we've seen usually in the stages. And man, I know the number 275, it seems like a big number, and it is a big number. But honestly, if these guys can just get a rhythm going and just circle off laps like jet fighters inside of a gymnasium, the old cliche is, we could definitely see this race go by quickly. It just depends on whether we get a mini Serve Pro cautions in the deal. So, yeah.
Absolutely, Wesley. As we watch Joey Stiers continue to lead this field, we've had a few laps under green here in the SimRacerHub.com 275. And Wesley, I wanted to ask you, you know a lot of these drivers here at Nazra, you know their talents and everything like that. Which drivers on the outside looking in can you see locking in their spot here in these last couple races?
Oh, man, I would say that if there's one guy that we know because of just the way he's drove this year and being under pressure, it's got to be Tyler Dittmer. I'm gonna say don't count him out. I know he's in the red right now. Brian Chu is another driver that's in the red, but man, he's really improved in the weeks and months earlier leading up to this playoff. And you know, all it takes is one bad night or one mistake, and you're on the outside looking in. But in retrospect of that, all it takes is one good run, and you could wipe away all of that bad that you've had happen to you from a race, William, and you're right back in the catbird seat again. So, yeah.
Absolutely, as we watch Blake Lothian in that 43 truck, and that's one of those drivers that isn't a playoff driver here in this series, but I think a driver in the last, I'd say at least about a month and a half, Wesley has been on an absolute tear, has seen victory lane, top 5s, top 3s, podiums, has been one of those most consistent drivers, could be a driver that sneaks into victory lane as well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that right now as the Wellesley, Massachusetts driver ready to go as the leader. Joey Stiers takes the outside, ready to bring him back to green. Right now, all those drivers we mentioned, Dittmer and True, are in the top 10. We'll get ready to bring him back to the Geico restart zone as the pace truck is peeling down onto pit road. Here comes the field, back to the box, green flag going back in the air. And let's try this again now. Lap number 22 of 275. Just about 50 laps to go in stage number 1 here at Bristol. Stiers up the hill as low as Lothian. Is that LaBeouf will follow? Yes, he will. There's your top 3 as they work up the bank. And Dittmer now going after, oh, man. Adam Newton here comes now.
Yeah.
Also Barnett. All this happening as they work off the corner. And LaBeouf up high again out of 4.
Yeah, oh no, Barnett in the wall. Barnett in the inside wall. Come on, oh no, big contact as well. Other trucks involved. Oh my goodness, Steve. Barnett into the inside wall. That 42 truck. Wesley just got a nose job. The nose of that truck is gone on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the Charlotte winner. Again, one of those drivers that are not in the playoffs. And as you see the end replay, I mean, there you see a slam in there. Clinkhart barely trying to get through it. Looks like we're going to try. We'll look at it from another angle, I believe. Watch Clinkhart. Watch that. Oh, yeah, wow. Oh, man, nowhere to go for the rainbow-looking colored truck. That's heartbreak. I believe that's a 33.
Yeah, that 33 truck.
25.
Right.
My apologies. Truck 25. My bad. Man. Look at this again. Barnett's already crashed. And well, I wonder if Clinkhart got into the 25, and then that made everyone else get into him like Rogers and Clinkhart did. Yeah, that's what it looks like from here.
You're looking at trucks like Steve Barnett right there in the 42. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. involved in that. You're looking at Chris Kynes as well. Tyler Daniels in the 25. Jacob Clinkhart, of course, in that one. So a few of those trucks there that were lingering on the tail end of that pack going to be involved. But Wesley, I have to refer to what you were just talking about. Long race here at Bristol. So depending on the damage sustained here in this wreck, you might be okay.
Yeah, we'll have to look at this again here. But I also agree with you. I think you might be able to try to get out of this deal unscathed. Just a little bit of damage, not per se taking you completely out. So.
Jason Morales there in that 5. West, they're going to ride on board with him and see what he... Oh, he's just going to avoid disaster here.
Man.
Oh my
White
goodness.
spun around. We didn't even see the truck of the two. Justin White spun around there. Wow. Okay. Well, there you see all the ins and outs and all the looks of everything, and that's the way it rolls. Big thanks to SimRacerHub.com here tonight. SimRacer Hub 125. As by the way, and we'll see everybody get back going again here. North American Sim Racing Association. If you check out the SimRacer Hub website, you can be able to see all the details. And looking at it right now, Hunter Parsons is the man coming off for the top spot from Charlotte. William, Joey Doucette, Adam Newton, Robert Richards, Nate Maurer. They're on the outside looking in, of course, is those, I'm sorry, well, at least your top 10, as I was mentioning. But on the outside looking in, we're taking in 14 to the next round. So 6 drivers right now on the cut line, including Brady LaBeouf, Zach Hartwick, Jose Luis Rivera, Brian Chu, Tyler Dittmer, and Sean Hamilton. We'll see what their fate will be, bud, as we get ready to try to go back to green flag here at Bristol.
Yeah, Wesley, I think if you're looking at those pack of drivers, you have to look at Brady LaBeouf in that 24. He was in that final 6 last year. Let's see if he can get through this race.
We'll try this again here as we're back underway. Green flag, lap number 30. 45 laps to go. Stage number... Whoa. Caution's over, Adam. Stiers is the leader. Here comes now the man on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Parsons. Here comes now Lothian. He'll follow Dittmer. By the way, William flying through the field. Look at the 34. He needs to win the race. He's right now in the 34th spot.
He needs to do it indeed, as right now he gets loose. No!
Oh, no.
Oh, he's going to just butterfly kiss that inside wall on that backstretch. Wesley, he might be okay. I don't think it was a hard impact to that nose. He'll be back in this race in no time, but we'll watch it here on the on-the-pole instant replay. Just as you were talking about him, Wesley, he gets a bit sideways and just meets that inside wall on the backstretch.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, man.
Oh. Ooh,
just literally telling the Gore, Virginia, South Carolina driver what he needs to do, and then that just happens to him, man. That's frustrating. That really is, man.
And I think the significance too, not only is the driver on the outside looking in here, Wesley, into this Bristol race, but that's our regular season champion as well. So a lot on the line for that 34 team. You want to get a good run out of tonight's race, and I think although he might have some damage to that truck, he could still scrape out maybe a top 10, top 15. Still a long way to go.
Another caution flag out. What is this now? The fourth one? Not even in 40. This is what we feared.
Oh, yeah.
This is what we feared. We feared this track was going to feature caution after caution after caution, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. And, yeah,
Watch Jose Luis Rivera down pit road, as well as Tyler Dittmer in that 34. And Wesley, I know it's going to be a race of endurance here tonight. I mean, it's going to be if you can survive not only the wrecks on the racetrack, but can you survive the stop and go downtown New York City style race that it's going to be.
Yeah, I just can't believe that this is the product that we're seeing right now. So if I was the race director, TJ Moore, I would literally be getting on these guys saying, hey, y'all, listen, stop. You know, quit tearing your stuff up here. It's a long race, and just, you know, this is not making Bristol fun right now. I'm just being honest. It's just green caution, green caution, green caution. And William, we feared this. We thought maybe this might happen, and here you go, 4 or 5 cautions in the opening of stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those races, but it's going to be who's going to be at the top at the end of it. And I mean, I know one driver that likes that, though, Wesley. It's the 23 machine of Joey Stiers, who's still at the top. He's one of those playoff drivers, so exactly where he wants to be, at the top side of that grid. And I can't believe also, Wesley, we have another season right around the corner here at Nazareth, so already recruiting, already have a schedule out and everything. So if folks are interested in that, go over and check us out at Nazareth Racing on Facebook. Get more information about the next season here right around the corner.
Yeah, season number 3 it'll fire back up at least probably a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks as soon as we finish up with this playoff. So, and obviously they'll start recruiting and bringing in new drivers. I know we've already started doing that with the Nazareth Speed Weeks events as well, the Thursday night deal that they're doing every month. Now they're working on Talladega for October, I think is what we were told. And we'll work on bringing the field back to the restart zone, the Geico restart zone here at Bristol, ready to go again. Boy, Joey Stiers got a big jump over everybody else as they came to the box, and the green flag goes out. Whoa. Quickly running him back down is Lothian, and now LaBeouf is right there into 3 and 4.
Oh, Wesley, he had to hit those brakes hard right there. Use some of those Callahan auto part brakes to keep him in check, and he's getting huge runs off of the corner. 1 and 2, though, separate Brady LaBeouf in third as Kerry Tribune in that 7 goes the inside of Hunter Parsons as we're still under green into 1 and 2.
Yeah, inside and outside one more time, making another run at it again. Obviously, Hunter Parsons is the man that is leading the points by 13 over, Joey Doucette. They're tied. There is a tie between Parsons and Doucette. 13 back is Adam Newton on the points right now as all this is going on. 21 back is Robert Richards. 22 back, Nate Maurer, Jason Morales, and all of this great points racing also to make it into the next round of 14. If you don't want to be in the bottom of those 6 right now, you're seeing these crazy moves being made right now. And we look at the 43. And I'm telling you, Lothian, he just can't seem to get around the leader of Stiers. He's in another world right now. There's something about these Tennessee tracks, William Tiller. Remember, Joey Stiers' first big ever Nazareth win came at Nashville.
It's that Rocky Top magic right there. Is that 23 machine still leading the way around the corner? And I wanted to mention, Wesley, as you were talking about a top 3, who would have thought Hunter Parsons would be at the top of the points table heading into the next round of these playoff races? And, really a driver that may have been under the radar, some of these heavyweights during the series. Now, right now, a driver in the top 3 of this race so far. Another great run here tonight. Wesley would be at the top of the table, moving on to the next round. I mean, quite a run, quite a time to get things moving for Hunter Parsons.
You see the thumbs high by Hunter Parsons, man. The points leader, we just saw a glimpse of him a moment ago on track. He's in that 3rd spot. Brady LaBeouf will follow right there. That's LaBeouf in tow, along with Trabue and Newton and Maurer. All of these are playoff drivers. Would you expect anything less? Doucette and Miller rounded out the top 10, with also Brian Chu in 10th on the outside, looking in the red bubble.
Yeah, single file on the racetrack here on lap 49. Everybody's settling into this pace. Wesley, we talked about that start and go pace. Right now, we are just moving around the racetrack as we check in with Tyler Dittmer, who's going to move to the inside right there, the 17 truck of Bullock, see if he can get her around. Tyler Dittmer trying to move up the grid after making contact with that inside wall. He will take that spot from Bullock as he's starting to move up the grid. Once again, we find Tyler Dittmer in the 21st position here, our regular season champion.
That's Chu. And that number 51 we just saw a glimpse of, and now we see Lothian under attack by the 15 of Parsons.
Whoa, no,
wow. Whoa, up the hill. Look out, Lothian. Parsons, he gave him room, and they're going to throw, I think they threw a caution too early. There might be a caution somewhere else. I think Raw Mesa might have put out a caution too. 37, our Serve Pro caution number 5 in stage 1.
I gotta tell you, Wesley, I'm high anxiety up here in the booth. What's at stake for some of these drivers? And we watch Raul Meza. It's just gonna be another bad luck situation for him. No contact though, Wesley. He might be okay.
He got lucky. Nobody got into him there as he lost it. And of course, I want to say that I'm glad that was what the call for the caution was, because I would have been fuming if they would have threw a yellow flag between Lothian and Parsons, because there was no need for a caution flag to come out for that. Right. I was about to say, come on, TJ Moore, what are you doing, buddy?
Oh man, that was so close between the.
And remember, Jose Luis Rivera already had a spin in the race, first caution of the night. So yeah.
We saw how close that was though between the 37 Raul Meza and the 20 Jose Luis Rivera. Almost contact between the two, and again that bad luck continues for that Serve Pro machine of Raul Meza, who can just never seem to break through. Wesley.
On the concrete here at Bristol, stage 1 still rolls on, and we still got still at least over 20 some odd laps left to go here before we do complete the first stage. Obviously, William Tiller is here. I'm Wesley Outland, season 2. The playoffs for the Northwest, or for the Nazareth Sim Racer Hub Truck Series is what I was meaning to say. And it is the simracerhub.com 275. And right now, again, it has been all Joey Stiers leading the way. We had that little bump and run, William, going in the concrete in the 3 and 4 between Lothian and Parsons, but they quickly gave each other space and were able to continue on. And then we had the Surf Pro caution with, ironically, the Surf Pro truck of Raul Meza.
Absolutely, and I think what interests me the most too at the top side of the grid is, can Joey Stiers in that 23 machine continue that pattern into the corners that we're watching? You know, goes very high into the corner, and then exits with a low line down the backstretch, low line 3 and 4, again high side into 1 and 2. Just has a very, very tight line, methodical line. A few different wrenches are going to come into play, Wesley. It's going to be that tire wear and fresh tires on the flip side of that. See how the 23 machine can adjust to that.
Look at our Illinois driver. Ready, leading the way. As they'll come back to the green right now, it is Lothian Stiers, Parsons, LaBeouf. Watching all these guys start to climb. I'm seeing Brian Chu being consistent. Right now, hanging in the top 10. Kerry Trabue also looking really good. Nate Maurer, Adam Newton, guys that honestly, you know, William, they're kind of lying in the weeds, hanging back, but honestly, I don't blame him. This is exactly what you need to do right now to put yourself in this catbird seat of position. And remember, we're going to see everybody pit again too. So.
Absolutely, and I think guys realize they're comfortable, but they want to make themselves even more comfortable as we rev up towards that green flag.
Green flag. Here we go. Back it away. Less than 20 laps to go in stage number 1. Stage 1, caution field. Those are the only two words that I can use. Is now Lothian on the bottom of Stiers. He'll clear him going to 1. He got the new leader in the 43.
Oh my goodness, Wesley is their side-by-side for the race lead. Meanwhile, Bray LaBeouf looks to the backside of Hunter Parsons here into the corner. Jump back up to the top of the grid. Blake Lothian to the inside of Joey Stiers. They're still side-by-side for that race lead off of the corner. Wesley, this battle rages on here with 16 laps to go here in stage 1.
Yeah, right now, closing in on the end of that first stage here at Bristol. And you see Stiers getting right back behind. And he got right back in front again of Lothian. Lothian let him have that spot. Parsons right there. I wonder if he was toying with him. I wonder if he was just toying with him there for a second. Stiers was, and then he let Lothian get around him, and then he said, "No, I'll get it back. I'll show you just how good my truck is here." So.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing too is Hunter Parsons is now choosing that high side lane around the corners as we have another Serve Pro caution flag out on the racetrack, and we see that's a truck into the top side wall here. Wesley, new spot on the racetrack. That's Curtis Rogers in the 65.
Yeah, Curtis Rogers just got turned by the 2. One of the playoff contenders, number 10 in the points of Justin White. And let's see it again. Joey Doucette tied with Parsons for the championship round number 1 in front of them. This was in front of him, and let's see it one more time. White, right rear, hooks him into the firewall, into the safer barrier goes Rogers, and he got T-boned about another 100 feet going into turn 3 on the concrete here at Bristol.
Yeah, and Wesley at first glance there looks to be an iRacing incident between those two trucks. Doesn't look to be anything malicious between the two in the 65. We can rewind that just a little bit. I don't think there was an intentional contact between those two trucks.
Yeah, we'll see it. For a disappointment, there's been a lot of netcode problems from iRacing this year in the last month. That's what I've been told since the new update. And well, I think this might be it here.
Yep, there it is, right there. Unfortunate for both drivers. And for Curtis Rogers, Wesley, of course, we know the run at a White this year in that too. But for Curtis Rogers, a rookie this year in this series, I think just chugging along the last few races of the season, unfortunately didn't make the playoffs. So, hats off for those drivers that are sticking around. There's still a lot to race for those drivers that aren't racing for that championship. You can still win some cash in these races, whether you win a stage or you lead some laps. Still a lot more things to race for towards the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't make it into the run for the championship per se, Nazareth put out together different options of things for you to incentive-wise still be involved in the sanctioning body and a chance to put some more money in your pocket. And I think that's pretty damn cool. You got to find a way to build up your truck count, keep your car counts and everything good. And I think that they've done that and established that. And I think that, I know that some people's going to say, well, that's the runner-up prize or that's the participation trophy.
Right.
And I get it. Everybody deserves a blue ribbon, whatever, for showing up. I'm not trying to say that in no way of the means. But you've got to try to find a way to definitely make sure that we can entertain the masses of viewers on any given night. And even in the playoffs, it doesn't drop down to 15, 16 trucks. And, to still have a strong 30-truck field, to still see the participation. Even those guys aren't even in the playoffs, but they're running for another initiative. I think that's pretty cool, for sure. Yeah,
and I think what's so cool about this series in particular, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, is our wonderful boss here at Nazareth, Brady LaBeouf, set up a consolation bracket. So all those spots, 21st,
Yep.
and I forgot what the point was there, Wesley, but they're racing in their own bracket for their own prize money at the end. So that 21st position is going to pay out at the end of these races. So there's not only going to be a champion of the Nazareth SimRacingHub.com Truck Series, but also the 21st position as well.
Well, you got a guy like, for instance, Steve Barnett. I know he got tore up earlier in the race in the 42, but I mean, he won for Hillbilly Racing last Monday night in Charlotte. He's one of those guys that are on the outside looking in. However, because he won at Charlotte, he is right now in that 21st position for Highline Racing as we go back to green. So, yeah, it gives you something to shoot for as we go back to, what we got? Less than 10 laps to go in stage one.
Actually, just about 6 laps to go here. Stage number 1 is going to end on lap 75, lap 69 here in the SimRacerHub.com 275. Joey Steyer still leading the way in that 23. Blake Lothian is trying to follow Hunter Parsons in that 3rd spot, running out of laps here in stage number 1.
Lap 69 on the board right now, closing in on the final 6 laps of stage number 1 here at the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series 275 at Bristol. Right now, Joey Steyers, the man, leads the way over a couple of Toyotas, a Lothian and Parsons. They're single file in tow. They work back the back stretch going to 3.
Counting on the laps in stage number 1. Blake Lothian on the top side. Hunter Parsons up there as well. Brady LaBeouf trying to follow. Adam Newton, I tell you what, Wesley, he has been electric in that DSR electric machine the past few months here in Nazareth. Trying to get a checkered flag here tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Just a few laps to go here in stage number 1.
Yeah, laps winding down here, closing in the final couple of laps is right now 3 to go. Joey Steyers continuing to hit that spot. Parsons a little wiggle there for a moment. Lothian waits patiently. They'll both climb the concrete to the safer barrier as they work off turn number 4. 2 laps to go now here in stage number 1, and it is, of course, Joey Steyers still leading the way.
Joey Steyers looks as though he's locked up this stage. Blake Lothian, Hunter Parsons still battling it out for a second. You see Brady LaBeouf, though. He's bringing up a hornet's nest of drivers. Adam Newton's part of that. Nathan Maurer as well as Joey Steyers takes us off of 4.
So it's Joey Steyers' final time down the back straightaway. Lothian Parsons single file. Behind them, though, led by Brady LaBeouf, is a gaggle of traffic coming to the flag. Newton bounces off the wall. Nate Maurer clears by him. Everyone else, including Tribune, Newton, Richards, Miller, Morales, Doucette, all in the top 10. Get your stage points and give stage number 1 to Joey Steyers in the 23.
What a stage victory there for Joey Steyers in that 23. Wesley just checked out from the drop of the green flag, never really even looked back. Just held it down through those caution flags as well. Those restarts, that's something to watch out for the rest of this go. And Wesley, on the flip side of that, I'm watching the tail end of this top 10. Some guys that got some awesome stage points. Looking at Lance Miller, Jason Rouse, Robbie Richards, Kerry Tribune, Joey Doucette, all picked up stage points then in stage number 1.
Well, Joey Steyers has picked up stage number 1 for Brute Force Racing, another Brute Force Motorsports. Let me pardon that and get that correctly. Joey, there's just something about Tennessee racetracks on the sim you like. Another stage win at Bristol.
Yeah, this OSF Healthcare Chevy Camaros, Chevy Silverado's been on rails today, and we're just kind of trying to bide our time and save our tires as much as we can here and let these boys kind of wreck themselves early, and we just want to be there for the end. But yeah, it must be this Tennessee air I love down here. Something about these Tennessee fans. I mean, they're awesome. Rocky Top, baby. Like you guys probably said on the broadcast, I'm a big Volunteers fan as well. Yep. So this place means a lot to me. So just hopefully we can keep the track position and stay out front as long as we can here.
Yeah, well, we're friends until you play Alabama this year, and then that's our week of being enemies for sure. And obviously, we want some redemption on the Volunteers after that field goal at the end of the game last year for sure. Well,
let's hope not. I love finally seeing a down Alabama year. If you can.
Whoa! That's the end of that interview,
think-
everybody.
That's probably most of the country believes that, actually.
Oh, man. Well, I'm a Bama fan through and through, so I'll have to totally tell you that I disagree. But, William, what a good job for Joey Stires, man. He leads stage 1. You got him right now for an interview.
Yeah, Joey, before we let you go, my man, coming into this race, it's the second race of the first round of the playoffs. You continue this momentum through the rest of this race. How are you going to put that 23 in victory lane?
I think it's just consistency is key, and it's going to be the pit stops. Blake is so fast on the track. He gave me a couple breaks there early. I kind of cut him off, and I noticed him and Hunter kept racing each other, and that's just I was able to pull away a little bit there. So as long as I can keep my nose out front, I think we'll be all right. But it's just getting through these restarts is the hardest thing for me.
And you know what? We were seeing a lot of caution flags in what were you expecting this, though, obviously, Joey, seeing these mini accidents in the first stage?
Yeah, when anytime you get to a short track, you kind of expect a lot of cautions to happen, and especially early in the race, people are just trying to get their feet together and whatnot. So they're trying to push what limit they can get to, and we're gonna have some wrecks early. So I just kind of anticipated that.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you go, man. Thank you very much for Brute Force Motorsports. That is your stage 1 winner here in the SimRacerHub.com 275, Joey Stires. From Mackinac, Illinois, now from Tennessee. He's originally from Mackinac, Illinois. And William, we'll get ready to go for stage number 2 now.
Absolutely. Brand new top 10. Let's check it out here, Wesley. We got Adam Newton at the top of the grid, Taylor Peacock in second, Brian Chu third, Tyler Dittmer fourth, Blake Lothian fifth, Jose Luis Rivera sixth, Brady LaBeouf seventh, Robbie Richards eighth, Joey Stires ninth, and Jason Morales, our top 10, as that green flag is in the air and that DSR electric machine of Adam Newton's leading the way.
And this, by the way, is the Glass Mechanic stage number 2 of the race. Thanks to Glass Mechanic for jumping on board with Nazra. And whoever wins this stage will be awarded that title. As right now we see Adam Newton power the 82 DSR electric machine with his teammate in tow. Chew, one of those drivers in red on the outside, looking in as they work the opening laps of stage 2 here at Bristol to the backstretch, going to 1 and 2.
Pretty calm as we're waiting those Goodyear Eagles get warmed up here in this stage, and we'll check out an on the pole instant replay, a break in the action to see what happened here. And looking at Jason Morales in that 5 in this group of drivers, Nathan Maurer makes contact with the 48 of Robbie Richards, who's going to make contact with Jason Morales there, Wesley. Big caution on the racetrack.
A big crash there, Chris Kynes. Looks like that's Jose Luis Rivera, Ed Osborne, one or the other. I can't tell.
Jason Morales right there in the 5.
Man, oh, man. It was Ed Osborne. It's Rogers. It's others. Another big stack up of trucks. We'll see the replay here. And Papa Willie's ain't going to be proud of your truck tonight. Rogers, let's see. Look at this one. Well, actually, he had nowhere to go. Oh. Up, and away went Morales' truck. Holy cow.
That's tough right there for Curtis Rogers, whose night has to be done there, Wesley. And this happened so fast in the broadcast. We missed it there.
Yeah, he was not even. Yeah, well, that's Richards' turn. Morales turned into the wall. And then look out. Oh! You think you're done crashing? No, Rogers says crashing to me.
Tim Hammond right there as well. And Wesley, these crashes like this, although maybe insignificant when it comes to winning the race, some of these guys are going to be right on that cut line. So wrecks like this early retires here in the playoff races are going to cost you a lot more.
Yeah, you don't want to have these you don't want to have these big, if you will, mistakes being made, because if you do, obviously it's going to put you in a bind. If you already had a bad night at Charlotte, it's going to put you in a bigger hole and an even bigger hole. And we'll have to see what happens here. It's all about momentum, William Tiller, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And that's exactly how you're going to advance into the Fast 14.
We'll see what happens here between the 48 and the 971 Nathan Maurer. I think maybe it was just one of those 50-50. The 48 was coming down, the 971 was coming up. Wesley was, as we watch an overhead shot here on the pole instant replay. Watch the 48 on the entry. Comes very, very low down to the 971. I think the 971 stays steadfast, but then again, you see an iRacing incident happen, and the 48, the contact is initiated there. That sends him up the racetrack, Wesley, and you see the rest after that. And it's just, again, unfortunate to see.
Well, let's try this again on the continuation of this event. There's in real time. It looks like maybe Richards might have had some contact. And right now, yellow flag coming out. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Thank you to Serve Pro for being our sponsor for the cautions. This is the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 of the race. Glass Mechanic will be the sponsor of whoever will get it done here in stage number 2. Thanks again. William, I heard you had a pretty crazy race Friday night at Talladega, too.
Yeah, absolute blast, Wesley. Every time you go to Talladega with any sort of racing, it's going to be electric. We had 3 wide, 4 wide racing there on Friday night. One of those where everybody was just excited to be there. It's an exciting call. I think when you call a race like Talladega, Wesley, it's similar to calling a horse race. You have so many moving pieces, so many cars, so many trucks together at one time. It's just an absolute blast every time you go to Talladega. And folks, if you want to go back and watch that race, head over to our YouTube page. And all you have to do is hit the live button there on our YouTube page, and you'll see Friday night's race, which was an absolute crazy, crazy race.
Let's try this again. Ready to bring the field back to the green flag. Adam Newton, Brian Chu, DSR Electric on the hood of those Toyotas. Green flag back out. Lothian outside for swim. Here goes LaBeouf. Does he go 3 wide? Does he go up the middle? Holds on. Look at Dittmer, by the way, William, right back in this game again. Tyler Dittmer in red, but he was the man that was the regular season points champion. He's doing well right now. He knows he's got to win if he wants to go to the next round of the playoffs.
Absolutely. He needs to do this if he wants a shot of moving through as everything is calm on the racetrack across that start-finish line. Brady LaBeouf has been inside that top 5 majority of tonight's race. So has Brian Chu in that 51 machine. Brian Chu needs a performance like that 34 machine of Tyler Dittmer as things are steady here across that start-finish line.
All right. Look at now low. We got a caution. We got a yellow flag, guys. Yellow flag back out again. Second of stage 2 here at Bristol. And we'll find out what this cause of the caution will be for. Yellow number 2. Oh, there's Chris Guy.
No.
Is that Richards again? Robert Richards in 48. It looked like it was.
It was.
Gaffney, South Carolina driver. Another caution.
We'll watch
Robert Richards, one of the playoff drivers as well, number 4 going into tonight's event. Chris Kynes, one of those drivers on the outside looking in, not in the playoffs.
And I think Wesley, Bristol is the type of track that'll do that to you. I mean, it's a track that you can come in and have very high confidence. I think it's a track that everybody knows. You know what to do here. You know your release points. You know your acceleration points. But it's also a track that you just wish would be erased from the schedule forever, Wesley. The way some of these races can go, you can just bounce around. You can get beat up. You can get chewed up, spit out. And right now, I think that's happening to the 48 machine of Robbie Richards. We'll see how the rest of the race plays out for him, but that's back-to-back cautions there for the 48.
There you see Richards on pit road. Jason Morales on pit road as well. Anybody else? Any other takers? Justin White, one of the playoff guys. He puts his grinds machine on pit road. Well, we're on lap number 96 of 275, approaching lap 100. And 175 laps, 180 laps to go here, William. And honestly, if you want to sum up the first 100 laps of this race, it's been caution filled. It's been a yellow flag fiesta, one after the other.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty honest assessment there. Wesley has been pretty caution-filled, and it's Bristol. I mean, that's sort of expected at a short track like this. And watch Joey Stires and that 23 machine get that stage number 1 victory. Since then has been sort of filtered there at the tail end of the top 10, been Adam Newton at the top. And I think what I can appreciate in a race like this, though, Wesley, is we're going to have a lot of moving parts, and a lot of your favorite drivers, if you're watching along with us here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, are going to shift around that grid, and wherever they end up at the end of this race is going to be a sight to see. You know, these guys that are leading now, I'm curious to see if they're going to be in the same positions at the end.
Well, see where it all turns out here is, again, Michael McKinnon chiming in. Always great hearing from him. He's joined us in the booth a time or two. Don't let Peacock up there or y'all in trouble. Oh, Peacock might be graciously climbing his way into the top 10 right now. He is right now in 16th of 7 spots on the racetrack. We'll keep an eye on Peacock and all these other ones in this strategy right now as the lights are off on the pace truck. That'll wrap up another Serve Pro Caution Firewater cleanup and restoration as the field quickly approaches turn 4 right into the Geico restart zone. That's how small this track is here at the half mile of Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. They're on the concrete. They're back to speed. We're back underway. Trucks are off the pace. Keep them going. That's Richards, who just brought out the last caution. He's way at the bottom of the apron and will stay green on lap 100.
Yeah, green so far here on the racetrack. Brian Chu up there as well. Our race leader, though, separating there at the top of the grid. Adam Newton up 10 spots from the drop of the green flag. Things are getting hectic, though, here. Little Wiggle is coming off of corner number 4 here as we got about 50 laps to go in stage number 2. Brady LaBeouf to the inside. Jose Luis Rivera there. A battle for a top 10 spot as we come off of 4.
Another time back around. Lap 102 of 275. In this race right now, Adam Newton, the new man, the new top dog, getting around Brian Chu. Lothian back to 3rd. DSR Electric looking in front, and Adam Newton is pulling away in the 82 Toyota.
Yeah, it needs to do this here in stage number 2. Clear yourself as much as you can, but Brian True, he needs a win. He needs a win to advance through. Doesn't have to worry about points if he can just snag this grandfather clock and that checkered flag. So far, though, single file down that backstretch into 3 and 4.
Yeah, they are single filers right now. Adam Newton up 10 spots back to that top position now. Brian Chu to 2nd. Lothian, there you see that teal, green, and black 43 up to 3rd, single file. Right now watching Rivera, LaBeouf, there's your top 5. They squirm off of turn 4.
Jose Luis Rivera feels the pressure, though, from the 24 of Brady LaBeouf. Brady LaBeouf looks to the inside of that 20 machine, and you see Brady LaBeouf moving up through the grid. That 24 machine coming off of a win at Talladega. As you mentioned, Wesley, an absolute crazy race. Wants to continue that streak going with a win here tonight. We'll have to wait and see as we check back in with our race leader, Adam Newton. And the caution flag is out, Wesley, as we had a good run there under green.
Yeah, well, if you want to call 5 laps a good run, caution out. Number 22, Brandon Bullock, goes around. And that will put us under another Serve Pro caution. And that's Brandon Broadfoot. My apologies. I think I said Bullock. Brandon Broadfoot going around to that red, white, and blue truck 22. Just lost it on his own as he diamond off the corner there, Will.
Yeah, and that 22 had high hopes coming into this race, had high hopes coming into the playoffs. I thought his season was dashed at Daytona. Wesley not only made the playoffs, raced pretty good at Charlotte last week. We'll have to see what he can get out of tonight's race, as it looked like he didn't make much contact there, so not a lot of damage to the 22.
Caution out on lap number 109 of 275 here in stage number 2. Remember, they will go all the way into the stage 2 in this race. All this going on is, again, the race details continue for the simracerhub.com 275 laps of 150. So we're about 40 laps away here to stage number 2 being completed. And William, we got some new men up there, new fish, obviously. Joey Stiers has fell back, into the top 15 now. And we're seeing Newton and Chu really show their talents. And obviously, probably the strongest truck in the field. 2 trucks, I would say. One's got to be Blake Lothian, and the other one's got to be Brady LaBeouf, hands down.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. And another thing, too, to sort of point out in this race here tonight so far, Wesley, and although it's been a start and go pace, I think when we do go, as you mentioned, when we went 5 laps on that last run, it's a frantic pace. You can tell guys are really trying to battle for positions. You're not really seeing a lot of calmness on the racetrack. Guys aren't settling in. They're not waiting for those tires to get warmed up on those restarts either. Guys are jockeying. Guys are hungry. Guys want to move through the next round. And I think that's why you see different names up there. And the likes of Lance Miller, who's up 17 spots from the drop of the green flag. Nathan Maurer has now cracked inside the top 10. So a lot of these guys, including the 51 of Brian Chu, he has to win, Wesley. So you can tell there's a lot of hunger and anxiety in tonight's race.
Yeah, there certainly is right now. So Adam Newton, Brian Chu, Blake Lothian, Jose Luis Rivera, Brady LaBeouf, top 500 Parsons. Lance Miller up 17 spots in the 21. He's in 7th. Tyler Dittmer 8th. Nate Maurer 9th. Joey Doucette, your top 10, by the way. Parsons and Doucette came into this race for the championship in round 1 of the playoffs, tied. Highline Racing, Parsons, Misfit Motorsports, Doucette 1 and 2. And how about William Adam Newton, the leader for Swim, Sick With It Motorsports? Only 13 back to add to Parsons and Doucette. He is the man leading them right now. And you got a guy like Brian Chu, who's on the outside looking in. Got a good point stay going for him right now, also in 2nd.
Yeah, the thing about Brian True, though, he has to stay in the spot. You can't get over ambitious, Wesley. You can't get caught up in something silly towards the end of this race. You got to think checkered is the goal, Wesley, but also a top 3. Make sure you just slide into the next round. You can't afford disaster here that would knock you out outside of the top 15.
Ready for the field to come back to the Geico restart zone on lap number 113. Flag flies, green in the air. It's Newton, it's Lothian, it's Chu, top 3 trio. Work the backstretch going to turn number 3.
Looking back here to the 4th position, Brady LaBeouf, Jose Luis Rivera. Watch out, Wesley, off of 4. That could have been disastrous. As you check back in there, there's Tyler Dittmer and Lance Miller. They're battling out for positions as well right behind these guys, but this is getting very frantic up here at the top, Wesley, as we come off of the corner. Already starting to see some racing stripes on these trucks.
Yeah, we're watching all of that go on again as they work their way back out of the corner. Boy, look at Lothian. Lothian trying to go in after Newton. Rivera will follow. Rivera on the bottom. Looking now also Nate Maurer and Clink Hart battle in the top 10, and that was throwing that to the caution. Will come out, as Williams said.
Caution is out. Serve Pro. Caution flag flies once again as we take a look at who brings it out this time on the pole instant replay. And Wesley looked to be the 71 machine.
Zach Hartwig.
Wow. Zach Hartwig all by himself there on the corner.
We're seeing this happen to a lot of trucks, William, where they're diming off the corner and the back end comes out from under them. We see it again on the 71. We saw it on the 48. We seen it on the 22.
And that's tough right there. That's interesting. I think maybe you can't blame cold equipment, new equipment. I think that's maybe just getting too ambitious on the acceleration out of the corner, Wesley, because I know you have to decelerate through there. It's just one of those aspects of Bristol. Yeah, it's short track racing, but you got to time that just right.
So another caution out over the Speedway here. Well, closing in on the final 32 laps in stage number 1. And William, here we go again. Had a pretty solid start for green, and then we've been plagued by cautions and under caution again. Bottom line.
Yeah, few cautions so far. Like I said, Surf Pro is getting their money's worth in this race. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Go contact them today for all your restoration and cleanup needs. We're thankful to have them on as our caution sponsor. And Wesley, even though with the cautions, like I mentioned, with those little itty bitty miniature green flag runs that we have, it's still very competitive within those small runs.
Let's check in with Adam Newton, possibly. You know what? Actually, I don't want to do that. Not right now. We're probably getting ready to go back to green flag. Next time around when they come to the front stretch, I'm thinking probably one to go, so.
What do you expect here, Wesley? As this green flag is going to wave, we're going to have just a few more laps to go here in stage number 2. Do you expect it to be very, very frantic? Is this the last chance at some stage points before we race this thing out to the checkered flag?
I mean, I think who we got in the top 10, I think is who we have. I don't see anybody making a big climb up. If they would, would have seen it. And I think we're seeing right now that Adam Newton and Brian Chu probably are going to work together. Obviously, DSR Electric on both of those trucks. They're looking really decent. Lothian is right there, though, so don't count him out. Lothian's truck just seems like he's got the power to stay behind the leaders, but if he tries to power for the lead, he falls back. So we'll see what happens. Remember what happened when he tried to go around earlier, and quickly Stires ended that, and obviously Joey Stires took stage 1. So ready for the field, come back to green, and there we see again Adam Newton quickly on the restart over Lothian. Brian Chu right there in tow with him. So is LaBeouf and company, and work our way to the back stretch. Oh, and William, I will say this. I mentioned top 10. Tyler Dittmer right back in the saddle again as well.
Absolute dogfight here. 25 laps to go in stage number 2. Last chance at those stage points. Brady LaBeouf on the top side of the racetrack there. Hunter Parsons on the low side. Jose Luis Rivera there with Brian Chu at the top side of the grid. We have Adam Newton in that 82 machine. He leads Blake Lothian in that 43 truck here. Wesley, as now we've made it down to 26 laps to go here in this stage as we're starting to see some bumper-to-bumper action here inside the top 5.
Yeah, right now watching all this happen into the top 5. Back off into the corner. Adam Newton, the leader. Up the hill goes Lothian. Couple of Toyotas, 1 and 2. Jose Luis Rivera, he's in third. That 20 machine down to the bottom. He'll now carry also Parsons. Throwing the block on Chu. Chu falling back. LaBeouf licking the chops and the scraps and goes to the bottom on the machine of the 51. And Dittmer's ready to go after it as well out of 3 and 4.
Now, Ryan Chu's going to feel that pressure, Wesley. Now, whether or not he can withstand it there inside the top 5 is whether or not he'll be there at the end of this race. Currently on the outside looking in has our regular season champion on that back bumper. And boy, has Kerry Tribune gotten comfortable in the inside lane. Virtually the only truck down there, Wesley, has been down there all race long, currently inside the top 10.
Yeah, all of this going on again with another lap on the board. Give it to the driver right now of the number 82. Up 10 spots. That Toyota holding off Lothian. Now you got Jose Luis Rivera. Remember, well, now here you go. Another caution. Man.
Oh, Nathan Maurer.
Oh,
man.
no! One of the drivers that were in the top 10 in the points, William.
Big time caution here, and we'll see what happens. And this is coming off the front stretch into 1 and 2. He's just going to get loose by
Doucette
himself.
got into him.
I think he may
Maurer
have been
lost it,
already
and then
loose.
Doucette, yeah, he had already lost it, and then Doucette just help him around is what he did.
Oh, and you'll see it there. He's already loose coming off of 2.
Oh, I don't know, William. Adam, let's see that again. It looked like Maurer was loose. He could have kind of corrected, and then Doucette just decided to drive in there. Look at this again. Well,
yeah,
see.
I think that was too far gone, I think, for the 971.
Yeah. I think Maurer was trying to save the truck to keep it from spinning, but it was already over with. Doucette with the punt. Maurer in the fence. Justin White hits the back of the tailgate, crunkles it up again a little bit more. And we are under another Serve Pro caution.
That's
wow.
Seen a few of those here tonight, Wesley. It's an interesting concept to this race that I don't think we expected. I think these drivers knew what they were going to be in store for when it came to Bristol. I just don't think the drivers knew that this was coming as far as how loose these trucks are.
Well, let's check in with one of the swim drivers. Obviously, they got to be excited and happy. And that is, of course, the man that's leading the way. The driver is Adam Newton. Adam, for a swim, doing good, man. You're leading right now in stage number 2. You're taking the race so far.
It's a little bit wilder than what I thought it was going to be, but I like the way it's going at the minute.
Got to do what you got to do to stay up front. I know you're in the top spot, and obviously, man, you're number 3 in the points. You win this race. You win. You go to the next round. Obviously, not worried about the stress that Rockingham will provide next Monday, won't it?
Oh, yeah, that'll help. I mean, I like Rockingham. I'm actually looking forward to it, but I just want to survive tonight.
William Tiller.
Yeah, Adam, like I've mentioned here on a couple of these broadcasts, you're one of those drivers that's been on a hot streak lately, has risen to the top of the NASRA power rankings. Do you let any of that affect you, or do you just continue on these hot streaks throughout the seasons?
Just take one race at a time and take it through the season, man. If you look at the numbers, that's when you start messing up.
I'll tell you what, man, one of those guys that have been out there helping you along the way has been the number 51, Brian Chu. He's been right there with you, your teammate. What can you say what he's been doing to help you? And right now he's hanging in the top 5, sir.
Yeah, we've been trying to just maintain our pace for the race. I think that's going to be the key. Whoever can stay out front, stay clean.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much for your time. I know Jeff Sickles would love to see that truck in the next round of the playoffs.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
There you go. There's the driver, of course, for Swim. We'll bring him back to his spot. That is Adam Newton as the field will get ready to wrap up another Serve Pro caution. Fire, water, cleanup, restoration, Serve Pro, official entitlement caution sponsor on the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Monday Night Truck Series. Ready to bring the field back to the Geico restart zone. Here we'll find out as the laps wind down who will be the man with 15 to go in Glass Mechanics stage number 2. Back under green, and Newton's gone on the restart.
Yeah, he's electric as the human thunderbolt leads us into 3 and 4. Hunter Parsons on the back bumper, Brady LaBeouf. Also Blake Lothian there in that 43 truck as we're wibbling and wobbling inside of that top 5. See if these drivers can keep it together for another 14 laps. As you see another wiggle out of the 43 truck there, Wesley. This could bode disaster for these guys. See if that Jenga puzzle can stay afloat here. As you see Blake Lothian to the inside of the 24.
I like that word, the human thunderbolt. We'll see if that will still be able to continue to hold that. Oh, no! Lothian turned. Ditmer's turned. He needed a good race. He's in the red. Caution out. This is not good for Tyler Ditmore, more than for Blake Lothian, as another caution comes out with under 15 to go in stage number 2. Wow.
Wow, this has huge implications on the season here. I don't think there's going to be heavy damage to these trucks, Wesley. I think if anything, we're going to be knocked down a few pegs on the grid. We'll watch back on the pole instant replay to see what we're working with here. It's going to involve a regular season champion, Tyler Dittmer. It's going to involve Blake Lothian, that 43 truck, who was completely at a 90-degree angle in front of these leaders, Wesley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
It's going to be, we'll have to wait and see on this replay to see what we're working with as far as damage. Hunter Parsons may be involved as well. We'll watch it at full speed. That's going to be some damage to the 34 for sure.
And that's what, the second time we've seen him have damage.
Yeah. That's going to be...
That's heartbreaking. He might be done. He might be done after that.
He's down to 9th right now on the grid, so he's okay. We'll see if that damage affects him here at the end of this run, and we'll see how long of a pit stop he elects to take next time down pit road. I think, assuming he's going to head down at that stage break, Wesley, I'm thinking for that 34, and he's still scrapping it out. He's still inside that top 10. He's still in the mix, our regular season champion, Tyler Dittmer.
Let's step away and take a break. We haven't done that. We'll be back with more coverage. Nazra from Bristol in just a moment. We back? Welcome back to Bristol. Last great Coliseum, and the Wreck Fest continues. There has been a plethora of yellow flags in this event. William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outlet, Adam Flieger on production. Boy, TJ Moore, the race director, he's got his hands full tonight. I wish he'd throw the gauntlet on these guys and tell them to simmer down. Because it has been, what have we had, William? 12, 13 cautions in 140 laps, maybe?
And I think as you're talking about that, Wesley, look at that ticker on the top of your screen. All playoff drivers inside of that top 10, whether drivers on the outside looking in, whether drivers that are locked in, do everything here tonight. That is a beautiful top 10 we have.
Brian Chu right back under the back end of the tailgate of Hunter Parsons as the Geico restart zone approaches. Green flag back out. We're back underway. LaBeouf, a little wiggle there for a moment. Tribune will go to the outside. All this happens with Parsons on the bottom. 6 to go as they almost bonsai one another going to turn 1.
Oh my goodness gracious. Wesley, this is getting crazy here at the Rocky Top Bristol Motor Speedway. Counting down the laps here in stage number 2. 150 will be that point. Carry Tribune. Hunter Parsons gets very loose, Wesley.
Now all this happening now as they work their way again down the back stretch going to turn number 3. Now LaBeouf up on the outside. Tribune will watch by about a truck length. Here comes also Parsons. He'll look about 2 truck lengths. He'll carry now Miller with him. Finally some good hard racing with 3 to go in stage 2 at Bristol.
Eric Tribune keeps knocking at the door of Brady LaBeouf in that 24 machine. Brady LaBeouf trying to go from the high banks of Talladega to the short track of Bristol and get another checkered flag in 3 days' time. Pay himself, the boss man here at Nazareth. Lance Miller, though, trying to celebrate the high life in that 21. He's been slowly creeping up the grid as we go into 1 and 2.
Yeah, back in the high life again. Hold on to it right now. Laps wind down. 2 laps to go here now at Bristol. Stage number 2. Adam Newton continuing to be the top dog. There you see him up in front. He's leading the way. 1 to go now. Final time into turn number 2.
Adam Newton looks as though he's locked up the stage down the backstretch into 3 and 4. The rest of the battles for a top 10 spot in the stage for those stage points continues off of 4.
Field comes to the line. Adam Newton will lock up stage number 2, presented by Glass Mechanic in the 82 Swim Toyota. Brady LaBeouf will finish second. Kerry Tribute will go third. Parsons fourth. Lance Miller fifth. Dittmer, Doucette, Morales, Osborne, and Brandon Bullock will be awarded points at the end of stage number 2. Now we settle ourselves in to lap number 275. 125 laps to go in stage number 3, William.
Absolute amazing stage win from Adam Newton in that 82 machine. As Wesley mentioned, that's going to be our Glass Mechanic stage number 2 winner. Glass Mechanic is a family-owned and operated business founded in 1921 with 4 generations of family serving the Phoenix area. Contact Mike at Glass Mechanic with all your home, window, shower, door, and custom glass needs. With over 100 years of experience, there's no window shopping needed. Contact a Glass Mechanic on Instagram or at yourglassmechanic.com as we watch that DSR electric machine of Adam Newton head down pit road.
Yeah, we're watching pit stops taking place, and while we're doing that, let's grab Mission 1 Esports number 24, the boss of Nazareth. Brady LaBeouf got a pretty strong truck at Bristol. We're working into a caution field, stage number 3, though. You're taking the race so far.
Oh yeah, I mean we had a couple of good runs. If we could just get it, cleaned up a little bit, we could have some better runs. So looking to get it cleaned up, get through this pit stop right here, and stay out front.
Methodically, you're in that number 2 position, Brady. Strategy-wise, I know you just came down to the pit lane, but what's the race been like? Because you've kind of been chomping at the bit, patiently climbing through the scoring pylon to get up to the top and be second at the end of that second stage. And obviously, stage points is what counts, and you get 9 of them here.
Yeah, Wesley, that was the goal coming in. I knew it was going to be a difficult track, a difficult race. It seems like, Bristol's driven. There's been more grip. It's driven different in years past, or seasons past, I should say, since we've been here. Since the update, it just seems like the truck doesn't want to stick to the track. I don't know if that's part of iRacing's deal with the concrete surface or whatnot. But I mean, right there, I felt that entire run of stage 2. I felt like I actually had something for Blake and Adam. It just, the way the cautions fell didn't really pan out. But I ended up beating Adam off of pit road right here, so at least I don't have to worry about him right here.
There you go. Well, there you go.
I'm not going to say I don't have to worry about him, but he's behind me right now.
Oh, man. Well, 175 laps, 150 laps are completed. Got 125 laps to go here. What do you think we'll see for the finale of this race? No doubt, Brady.
Well, hopefully we can get some green flag runs together, maybe some 20, 30 laps together. Everybody's on different pit strategies right here, so it's definitely going to be tricky, I guess, getting through this field right here.
William Tiller, what you got for the boss?
Brady, before we let you go, my man, what's it going to take to put that 24 in victory lane?
Just stay out of the accidents. I got into the wall a little bit, but no harm, no foul. But it's just staying clear of all the wrecks.
There you go. There's the driver, Brady LaBeouf, finished second in stage number 2. And obviously the Glass Mechanic stage 2 winner was Newton, as we're getting ready to come back to the green flag, back underway. And ready to join back Misfit Motorsports for the driver, of course, of Brady LaBeouf. And we're back underway, William. Third stage, the run for the payout window begins now. Ready to see where all this goes. You see Brady LaBeouf poke out there in the top 10 as Joey Stiers, stage 1 winner, back up in front, William, as they work to 3.
Yeah, you see Tim Hammond up there, though, in that 69 machine. He's working on some fresh equipment. Robbie Richards in that 48. Brendan Broadfoot in that 24. We saw him involved in the caution not too long ago. He's currently inside that top 5. Watch how this plays out here down the backstretch.
All this going on now as they work up the racetrack. Hartwick up on the outside. Here comes now White will follow. Check it out, Broadfoot now for the first time tonight. After having a problem earlier in the race, remember when he spun, bringing out a caution in stage 2, William? He now moves to 5th. His Chevrolet now opens up the door to Lothian, going after Clinkhart as they go to 1.
Yeah, Broadfoot, though, in that 22 machine, he is on old equipment. Last time down pit road, lap 78 for that 22 machine. So definitely has some stones in those tires, sort of say, here down the front stretch. We see some moving and grooving here at the top. Robbie Richards in that 48. You talk about a man who's faced some adversity. Back-to-back cautions for that 48 machine. Now finds himself in that 3rd spot.
So here's the deal, and you heard Adam Newton say it, and you heard Brady LaBeouf say it. We weasel out the trucks that have had wrecks. We weasel out the trucks that have had problems. The weaklings, if you will, mean that term in no disrespect. Now we settle ourselves in for a long green flag run. And here's the deal. You can knock them out really quickly, William. If we could have a stretch of a green flag drive, you could run 50, 60 laps like nothing in a fast time here at Bristol.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It depends on how long we can stay green, as things got very, very tight off of 4. There's Nathan Maurer on the inside lane. He's bringing Tyler Dittmer in that 34, who stayed in the fight. You definitely see the damage on that 34 machine. Wesley, good on him. Our regular season champion has to stay in this race. Could get something like a top 10. Oh, as you see, contact between Kerry Tribune and Joey Doucette right behind that 34.
Yeah, right back up the racetrack with Kerry Tribune. Hold on to that spot. We work another lap into the race now. And all the while, we continue to watch Joey Stiers. You know, William, he hung back. He played possum in stage number 2, if you will. And now when it counts the most in this 3rd stage, he's powered up to the front.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. And it's exactly what that Serve Pro caution flag is waving once again here at Bristol. And it's going to be the 17 truck of Brandon Bullock on the top side wall. Is going to go nose first. Oh, no. It's going to be Lance Miller in front of him, Wesley, there. And it looks like he's going to be by himself. And Lance Miller, he was inside the top 10.
Miller and Brady, Jose Luis Rivera going around. Dittmer gave a little punt to him. Bullock collected. There's your caution. Well, my thing is we saw Stiers. Well, I would say you pit, but I don't think they are. We see a couple of guys in the back of William pitting, but not any of the front guys are pitting, and they took that strategy of not pitting at the end of stage number 2 either.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that mix of strategy here down towards the end of this race. Still a long way to go here from Bristol and the simracerhub.com 275. So I think you're going to split it. You're going to experiment a little bit here in this run. And I think really you're going to follow the leader. That is Joey Stiers in that 23. Try to mimic what he's going to do on the racetrack.
And I'm understanding that Brandon Broadfoot and Zach Hardwick will be racing with Warrior next season on Mondays. So there you see, silly season's already begun, and we ain't even wrapped up season 2 yet, William.
Not at all. As I spoke about season 3 to kick off the broadcast here tonight, Team's already taking shape. The season's already taking shape. The schedule's ready to rock and roll as well. And folks, if you're interested about more information of Season 3 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, head over to Nazra on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, or our Discord page here at the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And Wesley, it's a pretty awesome season so far. Season 3 I know is going to be even more of a blast, but we still have to crown a champion here.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch and see what goes on for sure. So definitely looking forward to it. And we got to determine who's going to be the champion, obviously, at season's end, too, because all of that's going on. A lot of cool things being up in the works. Is got to decide this one coming to the end. Joey Stires, Tim Hammond. We mentioned Tim Hammond as a driver, William, that's not raced in a very long time with us on a full capacity. His truck looks really, really good now. He ain't looking for a championship. He's just looking to spoil the party and get wins as we come back to the Geico restart zone and ready for a restart on lap number 173.
Absolutely, as Joey Stires takes us into 1 and 2. Tim Hammond at 69. He's on the top side lane. Jacob Klinkart on the low side. Blake Lothian right there. Brady LaBeouf, Hunter Parsons, the same players that were involved in the first half of the race. They're back up there in the mix. Here goes the 69 and Tim Hammond with a big run off of 4. Looked as though he was going to look to the outside of Joey Stires. He's still on the top side lane as he comes off the corner. Almost loses it, Wesley, as this is getting heated up at the top.
All this going on now as he'll work off the corner, back out of turn number 4 to the line. Lap 175 on the board. 100, count it, 100 laps to go here at Bristol.
Whoa, honestly, that's so crazy coming off of 4 right there. Robbie Richards had to jump on that wheel to save it. Tim Hammond on the low side of the racetrack. He's going to pull out of lane. So will Carrie Tribute in that 7, all getting out of the fight there. Maybe not liking what's going on the top side of the racetrack.
Maybe used up their tires. What do you think, William? Maybe their tires are gone.
It could be. Maybe to avoid disaster there. You come out of the storm. You don't want that hurricane to come down on you. As right now, the 23 machine of Joey Stires back up at the top of the grid. And one guy's been lingering up here, Wesley. That's Jacob Klinkart in that 1.
Under 100 laps to go now, 95 to be exact. And as I mentioned, man, if they could just get into a rhythm, William Tiller, if they could just get into a rhythm, laps can fly by quickly here. Oh, no! Klinkart goes around. Jacob Klinkart spins. Front nose into the inside pit guardrail. Caution out. Oh, man.
Just as I was talking about that one machine with a great run here tonight, up 18 spots since the drop of the green flag, and doesn't look like there's going to be much damage to that one, just a lot of lost positions on the racetrack.
Literally just talking about Jacob Klinkart, how good that truck was, and if we could just get a green flag run under our belts, the laps could go by fairly fast. And then as soon as I say that, William, caution out. Man.
That's the commentator's curse, Wesley.
I ain't saying nothing no more. I ain't saying shit, okay?
Commentator's curse here on a Monday night. And folks, we want to thank you for tuning in here tonight to a Bristol race here in round number 2, or race number 2, round number 1 of the playoffs. Wesley here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And it's been a great season. You know, a lot of different winners. Unfortunately, our defending champion of Adam Newbert had to step away from iRacing for some time. We're awaiting the return of that 4. Can't wait, Adam, for you to return back into the series and back behind the wheel of your truck. But that means a new champion will be crowned, Wesley, this season. And of all the racing we've been having going on the last 23, 24 weeks, I'm very excited to see who that will be.
Yeah, Adam Newbert obviously winning the championship and got some personal things going on, and made the decision to bow out running the Monday series. I think he's popped in a time or two on the Friday night league. But we'll see. He'll be the new champion. Right now, Jeffrey Johnson Jr. Look at the 433. He's in the 14th spot. Closing in on 200, lap 200 in the race. 275 laps of distance. Overtime hangs in the balance if need be. And I find it surprising, William Tiller, that they got 5 sets of tires plus the original 4 they started with, that none of these guys in the front pitted at the end of stage 2. And they took advantage of track position.
Yeah, that's an interesting call for me, especially out of Joey Stires and Blake Lothian. I mean, you're going to be on old equipment. You're going to feel the pressure from Hunter Parsons and Brady LaBeouf behind you on that new equipment. So, interesting call here to stay out. Probably just planning maybe just to cut that stage of that last run in half is what I'm thinking here, Wesley. You try to get to that marker and then cut it in half, that 200 lap marker, I mean, and see where you can go to the end of this race. And very interesting call, and I think it's going to be one of those calls either way that's going to put your truck in victory lane.
Well, the lights will go off for the pace truck this time by. We'll go in for a restart. All right, here you go. Blake Lothian, Joey Stires on the front row. Hunter Parsons, Brady LaBeouf, row 2. Tyler Dittmer, Adam Newton, row 3. Robert Richards, Justin Wright, row 4. Joey Doucette, Zach Hartwick. Right now, your top 5, or top 10, top 5 rows, that meant. As we'll get ready to settle in for green. Nate Maurer, by the way, who had a caution earlier, back up to 11th. Morales also back in the game. All this happening with lap number 186 on the board. Back underway here at Bristol. And quickly, Joey Stires, William, pulling away again. Here comes Brady LaBeouf on the outside. He looks for the lead on Lothian for second.
Yeah, thunderous restart. Wesley here as that green flag is in the air. How long will it stay in the air? We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, though, Tyler Dittmer in that 34 to the high side. 100 Parsons into 3 and 4. Brady LaBeouf to check up on the back bumper of the 43 truck. Blake Lothian, who's now at the back bumper of the 23 of Joey Stires. These battles inside the top 5 rage on here at Bristol.
All that's going on now as they work their way back into the corner. Parsons on the inside. Here comes LaBeouf as they make contact down in the corner. Oh, I thought they were going to wreck one another. Dittmer pulls to the outside. All of this goes on in the corner. What a battle for 4th.
Yeah, I thought Tyler Dittmer was going to be involved in that as well, as he poked his nose right in the middle of these two. You don't want to be in the middle of these two as they keep getting side by side, airtight. Brady LaBeouf, Hunter Parsons for 3rd. We'll jump back up to 2nd. Watch Blake Lothian there, that 43 truck. He keeps trying that middle lane, see if he can get a run off the corner to the back bumper of the 23 truck of Joey Stires, who continues to lead laps here tonight as that battle for 3rds now side by side down the backstretch.
All this happening again as they work their way back up the racetrack. It's now Parsons back to the inside. He'll throw the block and go up under the tailgate. Oh, we got a truck in this ball. He spins. It's the 5. Jason Morales crashes. He slams the front nose into the inside safer barrier, and the caution will come out here on lap number 192.
And Wesley, you look at that truck.
Wow.
Jason Morales has just tried everything he can to keep that thing in the fight. That might have been the final blow.
Goodness.
To keep that thing out of it. And, oh, man, he's just going to lose grip coming off the corner. That's hard luck for Jason.
If you're in the top 10, William, and you have not pitted now as we approach lap 200, do you pit now with this caution? Do you pit? Or is track position that much more important here?
I think you do. I think you do head down. I think you want to get it out of the way now. You want to see how far you can take the run.
Adam, let's go to a live shot. Who's pitting? Okay, that's again brought to you by On the Pole for our instant replay. Who's pitting? That's my question. Who's coming down the pit road right now? Any takers? No. Nobody. Wow. I just...
You got a few.
Oh,
You
no,
got
no, here they go.
Hunter
Okay.
Parsons,
Yep,
Tyler
you're exactly
Dittmer
right.
down,
Yep.
Nathan Maurer down. You got a few takers there, Wesley. So if you guys here are heading down, oh, here they come. We'll watch Tyler Dittmer, Nathan Maurer, Kerry Tribune down as well. So a few takers down pit road, that's for sure.
There goes Parsons, Dittmer, Maurer. Richards looks like he's going to commit to come to pit lane. And William, I'm trying to remember, if you pit on the front pit, am I right? You got to enter on the back stretch, and you got to go all the way around the bottom of the apron to come to the front pit lane, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And if you pit on the back pit, you have to pit all the way on the back stretch and come back on the racetrack until you come back out on the front pit lane.
It's a tough one, but luckily we're under caution. Drivers don't have to deal with that easing back on there under green, because I'm sure that can be even more confusing.
Yeah.
And Wesley, I think this is just it's setting the stage. I think every break we have, the yellow flags, the stage breaks, Wesley, I get more anxious up here in the booth, because as we do that, we're counting down the laps here. More laps go by. We're getting close to the end of this race, and I think with everything that we've seen, the yellow flags, the crashes, everything, whoever wins this race, I love Bristol for the fact that you've earned it at a track like this, Wesley. You've really raced it out. You've gone side by side. You've battled for positions. You've done everything you could to get that race victory. And I think here tonight, whoever gets it is definitely going to be an earned one.
I was going to say, let's try to grab a word with Blake Lothian, but he is nowhere to be found. So,
as we're here live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, this is the SimRacerHub.com 275. My name is William Tiller, joined along with Wesley Outland and Mr. Adam Fleeger is providing all those wonderful sights and sounds you see here tonight. Whether or not you're watching along with us here on YouTube, Facebook, or following along with us here on X, formerly known as Twitter, we invite you to go ahead and like this video, share this video, comment on this video. The more interactions, the better. But here comes the field rumbling down that front stretch. Green flags in the air. Joey Steyers takes us in the one.
Let's get this started again. Back it away. Green flag in the air. Let's watch and see what Joey Steyers can do. Hang in there, Joey. He's one of those guys, William, that we mentioned did not pit. He didn't pit. He's, I'm trying to understand it, but just not pitted yet. All this going on strategy-wise. He's the man leading. Lothian right there behind him. He didn't pit either last go-around, William.
No, 76 laps to go here in this race. Blake Lothian on the back bumper, the 23 of Joey Steyers. There now. Oh!
Oh, no.
Big wreck in the entry of the corner. Brandon Broadfoot in the 22. Looks like Tim Hammond in the 69. They'll be entangled, and I'm sure that'll be a heated pit road. I think there might be a little something between those two off the track anyways, Wesley, so we'll watch what happens heading into the corner.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, that's going to be a little closer comfort there.
Hammond and Broadfoot getting together. Another caution. We're going to go 3 wide here. Kerry Tribune thought about it. Is that Hammond? No. William, that's net code again.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looked like the 69 was making
tell
contact
Brandon
with
not
the
to get
outside
mad.
wall.
Yeah, I know that they got some history with one another, but I can tell you right now, Brandon does not need to get mad at Tim Hammond. That was not intentional.
Right
That
here, if our
is-
producer
that's
could
net
freeze
code's
it
fault.
right there, yeah.
That's
That
all
contact
net
already
code's
made.
fault. Man.
Seen a few of those here tonight, Wesley. That the iRacing incident, as I like to say, I've sort of rephrased it from that the commentator, iRacing commentator curse there. That is net code. I like to say it's an iRacing incident now. Here is we're counting down the laps, Wesley. We might squeeze it in here. It looked as though it was going to be very stop and go, but we've had some good pace here the second half of this race. Joey Steyers, though, continues to lead, and one thing that I've mentioned throughout the season and throughout these races, Joey Steyers is a rookie this season. I think just really is hit the ground running with some of these veterans in Nazareth.
It'll be interesting to watch and see once we get ready to go back for another restart here, and we'll try this again. Boy, oh boy, what a crazy one here. I've lost count of how many serve pro cautions we've had. Was there 14, 15 cautions?
We'll have to check in with our wonderful producer, Adam Flieger here. Adam, if you can hear us here in the booth, how many cautions have we had?
18.
18.
There it is on the top. 18 cautions.
There we go. 18 cautions here tonight. We're not finished, folks. 54 laps to go here in the simracerhub.com. 275. And Wesley, if you haven't gone and checked out simracerhub.com, it's a wonderful website that's the most detailed.
I use it every week.
Statistical website that I think I've ever seen, Wesley. I wish they would expand to other things, like Madden stats or NBA stats, things like that, because I think it's the most statistical thing that you can use as a driver in a hobby, that you can go and look at all your race wins, your percentages, everything. It's so detailed on there. Definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I am a fan of it. I use it all the time for all iRacing leagues that I commentate for. And man, you want to talk about keeping up with stats and driver information, series, obviously series, sanctioning bodies you're working for iRacing, top 5, top 10s, overalls, points, statistics, you name it, they got it. And of course, part of the North American Sim Racing Association as well.
Excellent sponsor here for us on these wonderful Monday nights. Not only the series sponsor, Wesley, but the race sponsor here tonight. So double dip in here on a wonderful Monday night. And what a wonderful Monday night it has been, as this new top 10 is rumbling towards that start-finish line.
We'll try this again here when they come back to the line. Closing in on under 60 laps to go here at Bristol. Lap 275, the distance. I believe we're on lap 206 for the restart. They've got less than 70 remaining.
He's going, Wesley. He's going to the inside. Blake Lothian wasting no time here on the restart. He's to the inside of the 23. Joey Stires, a battle for the lead is now going on the racetrack. Blake Lothian's trying to get that lead spot from a guy who has led the entire race. Wesley, as the battle for the lead comes off of 4.
Off of turn 4. Stires on the outside. Lothian on the bottom. Newton will follow LaBeouf. All this goes on down the backstretch going to turn number 3. And while that happens, Stires is the new man in the top spot. He leads the way.
Yeah, something must have happened in that battle between the two of them. Looks like Lothian had to drop back a lot there. Maybe got uncomfortable with that battle. Maybe got a little loose. Had to save that 43
caution
machine. But the caution is out once again. Our 19th caution on the racetrack. Serve Pro gets another sponsorship plug once again.
Gary Tribune, possibly problems on the number 7.
Let's check it out here on the pole. Instant replay, what brought out our 19th caution of the night. It is Gary Tribune in that 7. He's going to get loose coming off of 2 down the backstretch. Doesn't look like any extra help there. Wesley is just going to get sideways on the exit of the corner.
Right now, Kerry Tribune, front nose into the inside retaining wall. Caution out again for the 19th time here in Bristol. Survive in advance is the nice way of saying it. You got a guy like Joey Stires, by the way, who is number 7 in the points. William, he wins. Last week, we didn't see that at Charlotte because obviously we saw a non-playoff driver and Steve Barnett win. But if you win, you transfer to the next round in the round of 14. And obviously Joey Stires, Brady LaBeouf also trying to do that. They're trying to get that done right now. They're trying to make it happen.
And I think that's what makes these races so exciting, Wesley. If folks haven't watched along on our broadcast before, especially these playoff races, it's a win in advance situation for a lot of these guys. You could go from the top side of the grid to really having to scrap it out to make it through the next round of the playoffs. So, we watched it last year with Joey Doucette, our regular season champion, actually tied for that regular season championship. And an incredible run, got to those playoff races, struggled a bit, Wesley. Actually missed out on the championship 6 by 1 point. So I think every race within these playoffs is a whole different season. You have so many things you're racing for, points, checkered flags, even money in the bank. So it's so much more exciting, I think, in these playoffs than during that regular season. And I think it's because it brings out the best of these drivers.
Who's going to be the top dog when it's all said and done? We'll find out. There's no doubt about it. We are approaching a restart here. Joey Stiers, Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newton, Joey Doucette, Zach Hartwick, your top 5. Hunter Parsons, Jacob Klinkhart, Robert Richards, Tyler Dittmer, Nate Maurer, your top 10. Some more trucks coming on the pit road as we are looking for a green flag here. Once we get ready for a restart, I think 1 to go at the line this time by. Lights will go off on the pace truck, William, and we'll settle in for a restart.
Yeah, that's going to be a very important restart here. Does Joey Stiers get another great launch? Can Brady LaBeouf keep him in check? Here's the Joker, Joey Doucette. Where did he come from? He's up there. Hunter Parsons, as well as the 71 machine of Zach Hartwick and the 82 of Adam Newton. Who will get the checkered flag? We'll have to wait and see here, Wesley, as we're ready for this restart.
All right, we'll try this again. Ready for a restart now. Pace truck is on pit road. LaBeouf gonna power alongside Joey Stiers. Green back out at lap number 215 of 275. 50 to go. Over 50 laps to go, I meant to say, William. Wow.
Yeah, Stiers leads us that first lap under green. Things are already getting back to a hectic pace as Robbie Richards looks to the inside. 100 Parsons there, the 48 machine, has fought through some adversity here in tonight's race. Couple caution flags involved that 48, so finds himself, though, inside of that top 5. If he can just get around that 15 machine here. Wesley, also Nathan Maurer back up there. Oh, he almost loses it off the corner. Right now, back up at the top of the grid, Brady LaBeouf looking to the inside of the 23 machine of Joey Stiers. This is a battle for the race lead. As mentioned, Brady LaBeouf's coming off a win at Talladega, and our concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series trying to get another victory here tonight. And boy, is he putting it on the 23. He looks at the inside once again. Oh no, gets loose, hits the wall. Brady LaBeouf into the topside wall.
Oh,
no
wow.
caution out. We're still moving under green, Wesley. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
he may have gotten a little over-aggressive there in the 24.
And tough break there for Brady LaBeouf, and he's going to fall all the way back to ninth. And there's
there
your
it is.
caution. There's your caution. This might be good for Brady. I know he might give up some track position. William, but man, he might need to go and get that truck checked out for sure. Wow.
Oh, let's check
No
out
caution for him. We got a caution for some others.
Yeah, our 20th caution of the night here. Let's see what brought it out. And that's contact between the 33 of, I believe that's Jeffrey Johnson Jr., if I'm not mistaken. And it looked like Taylor Peacock in the 81. It looked like that is the 33 of Jeffrey Johnson Jr., and you see him on the top side here. There's the 81 of Taylor Peacock on the low side, and I think that's clear contact, Wesley. I don't think that's an iRacing incident. Yeah, that's definite clear contact there to the backside of the 81 machine of Taylor Peacock from the 33 of Jeffrey Johnson Jr., and these guys can celebrate the fact that they've brought out our 20th caution of the night here at Bristol on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, and we'll see what happens up here. Might be a little bit of a residual effect And Taylor Peacock in the 81. Brian Chu in that 51. He gets through it. He's still trying to scrape out a good finish, Wesley, even though he's faded in this race in that 51. As we watch here, field gets ready to rock and roll as we're under another Serve Pro caution flag here. Fire and water cleanup and restoration. Don't stress about the mess. Call Serve Pro here today. Wesley, as the ticker on the top is showing who was involved in that. You know, we look at Jason Morales, Jose Luis Rivera, Taylor Peacock. You know, some of these drivers that have had bad nights, not playoff drivers per se, so they can afford that, Wesley. But you look at the top side of the grid, we've got Adam Newton back up there.
William, I'm sorry, buddy. I probably was sneezing about 5 times in a row, but I had my mic muted, and I had one of my feet were falling asleep as well, so I had to get up and move around and get some circulation back in my leg. Ready to try to get this back going again here, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm exhausted with this race. I'm exhausted with it. And we're not done yet. We got 50 to go. I might not even be able to join you for the finish of this thing, man, because it's lasted so long.
Yeah, and I think for the folks at home, Wesley, and for me up here in the booth, I think it's been a pretty good race. I think the folks at home know it's Bristol, so it's going to be one of those start and go things, and it's getting a little bit more chippier, I would have to say, here towards the end. A few more guys towards the tail end of this grid, maybe just trying to hold on for spots, but I feel like here, as we count down to about 50 laps to go, it's really going to heat up here, as I don't think there's a truck inside this top 10 that doesn't have any sort of racing stripe on it.
Let's try this again. We'll try to go back for a restart with exactly 49 laps to go after 20 caution flags. Look who's up in front, Adam Newton. And back to green here at Bristol. 49 to go, and believe it or not, William, if Adam Newton wins this thing, he goes to the round of 14 and doesn't have to worry about the pressure of the Rock next Monday night.
No, absolutely not. You don't want to have to worry about the Rock as Adam Newton's trying to get around this racetrack. Here comes Robbie Richards, though. He's got some speed built up in that 48 machine. Nathan Maurer is there as well. Both of these drivers have been involved in caution flag somehow, some way, finds themselves inside of the top 5. Tyler Dittmer, a regular season champion, would love a win here tonight to put himself through. Right now, we got lap 229 as there's almost contact between the 43 and the 34, Wesley. This race is getting wild. No!
Oh, no.
As Clinkart gets sideways.
Oh, he spins in the pack. Oh, Broadfoot just got turned in the fence.
Man.
I think Chu got a piece of it. Oh, my goodness, guys.
Live, Wesley.
Oh, Adam Fligger was dead on it.
Oh,
21 caution flags now.
And I think what we saw may have been another iRacing incident, because we watched it live up here in the booth, and they were definitely racing close, but I don't think there was contact made between the two.
You realize that the most caution flags ever in a NASCAR race was at Bristol at 23. We're 3 from bypassing that in the world of NASRA.
You saw it, Wesley, another iRacing incident there. No contact made between the 43 and the 1 that initiated the spin in the 1 machine of Jacob Clinkart. Another iRacing incident here. We'll see the 51 of Brian True. Oh no! He's just trying to get something out of this race, Wesley, and continue on to the next round. And he's going to have some damage and see if he can finish out this race.
Yep. Another yellow flag. Man, oh man.
Wow.
Adam Newton, Robert Richards, Nate Maurer, Hunter Parsons, Tyler Dittmer, top 5. Blake Lothian, Kerry Tribune, Lance Miller, Raul Meza, Tim Hammond. Top 10. Well.
And I think what gets me here, Wesley, is looking at the scoring table here up in the booth. You know, we're on lap 232. We're going to lap 275. Adam Newton's on some old equipment there at the top of the grid. You know, last time down pit road there for the 82 machine was on lap 153, while the rest of these guys behind him headed down lap 193. So there's going to be about a 40 lap difference between Adam Newton and the rest of this top 10. So curious to see how long Adam can keep the speed at the top and how long he can hold off this hard charge of guys who have fresher equipment and want to get inside that victory lane.
2:33 on the board of 275. Giving everybody a forewarning. William Tiller might have to carry this one to the finish. I'll stay with you till about 11:05, but after that, I'm bouncing because I have other obligations. And I feared, William, we chatted about this before we even went live. The distance, the cautions. You feared the yellow flags. I feared the length of the race. We weren't going to be able to be done by after 11 o'clock, and it looks like that's going to come to fruition here.
I think if we stay green here, as you mentioned, Wesley, we get some green flag laps underneath our belts and continue that run to the finish. I think we'll lock it in here. And for the folks at home, we just watched the conclusion of that Saints-Panthers game. Now watching the end of this race here on the Nazareth 360 Racing and Network. And again, this is race number 2 of round number 1 of the playoffs. And a lot of these guys inside of the top 10 are playoff drivers. You can see them monikered by the top of your screen there. Drivers in the red are drivers on the outside looking in. Drivers in that gold are locked in. And all these drivers want that victory to push them through. Wesley, we have just a few more laps to go. See who can get that checkered flag as we're ready for another restart.
All right.
As Adam Newton takes the green flag off of 2 here down the backstretch. Great restart out of that 82 machine. Robbie Richards there in that 48 battle for 3rd, though. Wesley, Hunter Parsons, Nathan Maurer, as Nathan Maurer gets loose.
Let's try this again. Watching them Lothian up the racetrack. Maurer on the bottom. Parsons up top. Carrying Tribute. Tyler Dittmer on the bottom. Working to the corner. Out of 4. Then they go to the line. Try to get to the finish of this thing here. And Adam Newton still the man of the top spot. There's Parsons. He's in 3rd, William.
Yeah, Parsons has to look in his rear view, though, and see Blake Lothian in that 43. Nathan Mauer's there. Kerry Tribute's there. And Tyler Dittmer in that 34. He has to get that thing moving just a little bit faster to have a shot at tonight's race. He has raced through some adversity, some damage. Oh, we were walking at the top of the grid. Robbie Richards in the 48 spins in the front stretch.
Yellow flag number 22 out. Gaffney, South Carolina's Robert Richards, another one of those playoff drivers. It has been a bad race for drivers in the playoffs, and the same has happened to the number 4 seed Robert Richards again and again and again. William Tiller, we're back under yellow again at Bristol.
And I want to watch this. If our producer here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network can rewind this just a little bit, how close that was for the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. Boy, that could have been absolutely disastrous for our entire top 10. And if we can get a replay on that to see how close that was, the back bumper of the 48 machine came so close to the 43. You'll watch it here. As you watch the 48 get loose, Wesley, watch how close this comes. Right there. Oh, man, that's close.
No,
Looking right on board. Yeah, watch this right here. Watch how close this is. Oh, wow. Such a great shot there.
Well, we'll watch all this going on again. Ready for a restart. This will be lap number 242. They're working. They come to the line. Fligger, go to the pylon. How many laps to go? I think we're at 22 cautions. 34 to go. Wow.
Yes, sir. 34 laps to go before we decide who moves on to the next round. Of course, we're going to have Rockingham next week here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And I think, though, tonight, Wesley, you want to maybe lock yourself into the next round after tonight's race or put yourself in a good spot heading into Rockingham next week. But folks, as Wesley was just talking about, we just wrapped up our King of Daytona series that was on that Thursday night there. I'm sure the Hot Lap podcast is going to be returning here soon. That'll feature Tyler Dittmer in that 34, our regular season champion here in this series. He'll be back on that podcast here soon. And of course, we have that Concerns of Police Survivors truck series on Friday nights. All those races and podcasts are at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe the podcast a little bit earlier there, Wesley. So far here in this race, Adam Newton at the top, winner of stage number 2. And our stage number 1 winner, Joey Stiers, he's down in that 7th spot as we get ready to re-rack him and kick off another restart here.
All right. Under 35 to go. Thanks for everybody that's still joining us watching this. It has been caution field. I hate that I'm not going to be able, hate's too mean of a word. I'm disappointed that I'm not going to be able to join you for the finish, for our audience and for my colleague here. But I don't know who does the scheduling or who considers the lap count. I'm sorry, but I think 275 is too much. Just saying for this race. We'll try this again. Obviously, I'll go as far as I can, William, to stay here with you. Right now, the pace truck getting ready to come to the pit lane here. Hunter Parsons and Adam Newton now. Right alongside, closing in. Green flag back out. Can we get to the finish? Newton wants to win this one bad, William. He's gone at turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. We're counting down towards the end of this race. Wesley will be there in no time. Hunter Parsons, that 15 machine, has been locked inside of that top 15, or top 5 all race long. Now inside of that second spot. Looks to the inside of Adam Newton in that 82 machine. These two have separated here on this green flag run. See how long we can stay on this green flag run as that 15 wants that top spot coming down the backstretch.
Right now, the leaders work their way back out of the corner. It's Adam Newton with the lead. Hunter Parsons will follow back in tow to second. Nate Maurer third. Blake Lothian, Kerry Tribune, your top 5. That's the way it stands right now as they work their way again back out of turn number 4.
Lance Miller in that 21 got a wiggle out of his truck just behind these two here. Watch them as they come off of 4. If everybody can keep it cool.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's cool on the racetrack as Hunter Parsons to the inside of the 82 of Adam Newton here. Down the backstretch, this battle for the lead ensues as Blake Lothian is on the back bumper. Nathan Maurer for that 3rd spot. And oh my goodness, as the 15 gets loose, but he saves it, Wesley.
Parsons got loose. He shot up the racetrack. They make their way to the back straightaway. Now we're single file. 25 laps to go at Bristol. It's Newton the leader.
Whoa.
Parsons second as they got sideways, fighting for that spot out of turn number 3 and 4. Lothian's in the battle. He'll carry Stiers with him out of 2.
These trucks are slip sliding all over the place. Wesley is the 43 truck here. Watch as they come off of 4. Will we be okay? We will. We're good so far. As the 43 truck on the inside lane has the 23 of Joey Stiers right behind him as our race leader Adam Newton begins to separate from Hunter Parsons in that 15. A battle for a top 5 rages on, though, off of 4, across the line into 1.
Well, here we go. Working back off the corner. It'll be 22 laps to go now. Working down in the corner number 1. It's Newton, Parsons, Maurer, Tribune, Lothian, top 5, single file. Working 20 to go. Contact! Oh, Dittmer! Dittmer put Maurer in the fence. They're crashing again. 2 sets wrecking. Cleancart's crash. Hartwick is wrecked. Caution is out again here at Bristol with under 20 to go. Oh, no.
Wow. As we check out this on the pole instant replay, looks as though from first glance, there was contact made between the 23 of Joey Stires and the 34 Tyler Dittmer. There was. That's pretty clear. It's going to collect Joey Doucette. It's going to collect Jacob Klinkart there. A little bit of damage. Not hard damage. Definitely hard damage to the 23 of Joey Stires. To the 16 of Joey Doucette. I think the 34 Tyler Dittmer could get that thing going again. Man, Wesley, what did you see there?
Just everybody fighting for the spots, and one thing led to another. Dittmer hooked in the left rear. Around goes Stires. Dittmer turned in the opposite direction. Joey Doucette in the fence. He crashes, and they are in the wall again. Lance Miller now watching his truck in that 7th position now, and we go under the yellow flag again. Oh boy, oh boy. Nate Maurer up to 3rd. Remember, he had problems in this race, William. He's back up to that 3rd spot, man. Wow. What a climb back.
And you see all those names inside that top 4, with the exception of Blake Lothian. And then you have Ray LaBeouf up there. All these drivers could advance through with that victory. Nathan Mowers had to scrape through, as you mentioned. Hunter Parsons had to face some adversity in this race. Brady LaBeouf as well. So all these guys back up here at the top side of the grid had to fight to stay up here. Wesley, through whether it's a caution flag or spinning out on the racetrack, you still got to get the job done. And for Adam Newton, my question now is, when does he head down pit road? Last time down pit road for him was on lap 153. So very old equipment for that 82. But I think if he can keep that thing going in the right direction, don't fix what's broken.
All right, we'll try to do this again here. It's Adam Newton, Hunter Parsons, Nate Maurer, Kerry Tribune, top 5 with Blake Lothian. Believe it or not, William, look at Brady LaBeouf. He's right back in this battle again now. He's in 6th. Back up in the battle again in that 6th spot, man. Wow.
I think I meant to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that applies to our leader of Adam Newton. Why head down pit road now and tinker with anything, make anything worse on the 82? Because you see all those restarts, you saw all those battles inside that top 5, which included Nathan Mao, which included Brady LaBeouf. Our race leader, Adam Newton, was nowhere to be seen, Wesley. He was checking out there. They're in that run.
Ready to try to go back at it again here. Newton, Parsons, Tribune, Maurer, Lothian, top 5, as I mentioned. 23 caution flags here tonight at Bristol. I'll try to stay here with you one more time, William, but if this caution comes out again, if we get another caution, that's it, brother. I'm bon voyage. We'll try this again.
Folks at home watching along on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, Wesley, but let's hope that this thing stays green and we get a checkered flag with you up here in the booth. Let's see how it goes here.
15 laps to go here at Bristol. Can we go to the finish? LaBeouf inside. He'll go to the middle. He'll clear by Lothian. Maurer gets loose in front of him. He's had good and bad luck all night tonight here at the last great Coliseum. To the line, 14 to go. Here comes now Parsons after Tribune for 2 in 2nd.
Side by side for 2nd, side by side for 3rd as well. No, Nathan Maurer shut that door. He'll take that 3rd spot. Hunter Parsons, though, up to 3rd. He'll get that spot. Single file on the racetrack. Caution flag is out. Serve Pro caution flag flies once again here on the racetrack.
Yellow flag will fly. This is for the 24th time. It is now the 33 machine.
Jeffrey Johnson
going
Jr.
around. This is Jeffrey Johnson Jr. His Ford just got bonsaied off a Doucette, slammed into the concrete, went Howard's machine. And this will set up another caution. Oh my goodness. William Tiller, goodbye. I can't take this anymore.
He's just going to get ramrodded in that back bumper in the entry of 3 and 4. And for Jeffrey Johnson Jr. finds himself just trying to get a good finish out of tonight's race. For Joey Doucette, a man who probably doesn't find himself there at the tail end of the grid. Probably a little frustrated here in this race.
Well, ladies
Just
and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much to all of the awesome people as always. However, I have other broadcast obligations that prior to this crazy long shenanigans race that we expected, I have to commit to that. So, William Tiller, I'll let you bring this one to the finish. Adam Flieger, thank you for somehow, some way bringing in the replays and making this race entertaining. And I'll see you at Rockingham next week, brother.
And that was Mr. Wesley Outland, everybody. Thank you, Wesley, for joining us here tonight. As mentioned, he has some other broadcast obligations, but this race has been pretty good so far here tonight. Of course, we have some folks watching along with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing and Network. And for your favorite drivers that are still in the mix, and I'll bring in our wonderful producer, Adam, if you can hear me up here in the booth. What are your thoughts about tonight's race so far? As we're waiting, Adam Flieger, wonderful producer here, it's myself, William Tiller on the Nazareth 360 Racing and Network. Will cruise around here under caution. As Wesley mentioned, a lot of caution flags here tonight. Serve Pro getting their money's worth. Fire and water cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro. Don't stress about the mess. Call Serve Pro today. A few laps remain here in the simracerhub.com 275 to watch Adam Newton at the top side of the grid in that DSR electric machine. He has been raising to the top of the Nazareth power rankings the last few weeks. Wants to get a checkered flag to secure his spot in the next round. Watch here on this restart. Let's check out the top 10 for this restart, though, folks. It will be Adam Newton at the top. Kerry Cherbu in second, Hunter Parsons third, Nathan Maurer fourth, Brady LaBeouf fifth, Blake Lothian sixth, Jose Luis Rivera seventh, Jacob Klinkar eighth, Joey Stires ninth, and Brandon Bullock will round out our top 10 here on this restart as the lights are now off of the pace truck. We'll see if we can complete this under green as Kerry Cherbu looks to the inside of Adam Newton. Hunter Parsons, Nathan Maurer, they'll go 2x2. We'll see Blake Lothian and Brady LaBeouf 2x2 as well as we get ready to kick off this restart into 3 and 4. A few laps remain in what has been an endurance race of sorts. You stay the course, you fight through the cautions, you can get the last flag of the race. That is the checkered. Well, watch now as Adam Newton, Kerry Cherbu take the green flag into 1. As Adam Newton comes off of 4, he'll lead us the first lap under green. 8 laps to go here in this race. Kerry Cherbu in second to the battle for third on your TV screens. Range it on as well. That's Hunter Parsons, Nathan Maurer. Almost contact between those two. They keep it clean with 7 laps to go. Blake Lothian's in this mix as well, sliding down the grid. He might be out of contention late in this race. Going around the corner here, down the backstretch, we see those battles inside the top 5 still raging on. Joey Stires in that 23. Looks as though his chances are wrapped up. 6 laps to go now. We see Brady LaBeouf to the inside. Jose Luis Rivera, big wiggle out of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. Meanwhile, at the top side of the grid, we see our race leader of Adam Newton. He's being chased down by Kerry Cherbu with 5 laps to go here into 1 and 2. Into 3 and 4 now. The field rumbles as Hunter Parsons under fire by Nathan Maurer on the 971. Adam Newton has cleared some space. Actually, you see Parsons out to the inside of the 7 of Kerry Cherbu. He wants a shot at this race win, but it looks as though Adam Newton has done everything he needs to do. Now with 2 laps to go, the next flag makes it official as he takes the field down the backstretch here at Bristol into 3 and 4. The DSR electric machine has been absolutely electric here tonight. Oh no! Wreck off of 4! Caution is out! That's a buzzer beater! Absolute buzzer beater, Adam! Wow, right at the line, the nose of the 82 of Adam Newton was crossing it for the race win to make it official, and you see Hunter Parsons wrecking right off of 4 with Jacob Klinkart. Overtime here tonight. Wow, what a crazy finish. And again, I'll bring in our wonderful producer, Adam Flieger. And Adam, you've been watching this race alongside of us, and it seems like every broadcast you get overtime.
I wouldn't say everyone, but I kind of figured Bristol was going to be that way.
Absolutely. And as we have you up here in the booth with us, what have you been your thoughts of tonight's race? Of course, there's been a lot of cautions. We can say that. That's one thing we can take off the table. But other than that, what do you think about the action?
If they can stay green, it's hard racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's hard, anxious racing. I think these drivers want to lock in their spot for that top 14. For Adam Newton, I mean, that's just going to be absolute heartbreak at the line. It's just so close. And you see the 82 of Adam Newton. He was right there, Adam. If we could rewind that and maybe see how close that really was to the 82 getting that white flag, making it official. He was right there. Oh, man, I would say maybe 2 or 3 car lengths, add him to that line, and he would have had it. And again, another caution flag flies here. Serve, Pro, Fire, and Water, cleanup and restoration, and another one in the books here. We'll re-rack them for another go here to see who wants to take this checkered flag at simracerhub.com 275. Again, this is myself, William Tiller. Wesley Allen unfortunately had to leave the booth based on other broadcast obligations, but we want to thank him for joining us here tonight. We also want to thank Mr. Adam Flieger up here in the booth, providing all the sights and sounds of tonight's race. Of course, simracerhub.com for being our season sponsor, also our race sponsor here tonight. If you don't know what they do, just go ahead and Google simracerhub.com. You'll see all the awesome things that they do, detailed statistical iRacing information. Also want to thank Glass Mechanic for being our Stage 2 winner sponsor. They're a locally owned and operated business in the Phoenix area. For all your glass needs, go contact Mike at Glass Mechanic today. But let's check out the new top 10 here on the restart. We have Adam Newton on the top, Carriage View in second, Nathan Maurer third, Blake Lothian fourth, Jose Luis Rivera fifth, Hunter Parsons sixth, Lance Miller seventh, Joey Stires eighth, Zach Hartwick ninth, and Raul Meza 10th. As we get ready for another restart, that pace truck takes us into 3 and 4. The lights are off, the engines are on, the tires are hot as they rumble through that Geico restart zone. Adam Newton takes us into 1 with a great restart. 2 laps to go in this overtime finish. He'll take us down the backstretch as Kerry Tribuse right there in the 7th. Nathan Maurer in third. Coming around 3 and 4, he gets this white flag. It's official. It's official as Adam Newton takes us into 1 and 2 as our race leader. Kerry Tribuse is in second. It won't be enough though, as the DSR electric machine of Adam Newton will take home the checkered flag in the simracerhub.com 275, our winner here tonight. In the absolute hot streak that is the 82 machine of Adam Newton, the DSR electric machine continues here tonight in this Monday night series that puts him in to that top 14. Doesn't have to worry about the Rock next week. Did what he had to do here tonight. Came on strong at the end of the regular season. Came just shy of winning that regular season championship. Finishing just shy of Tyler Dittmer in that 34. But Adam Newton, victor here tonight, burning it down on the front stretch at Bristol. As Adam Newton celebrates here the front stretch at the last great Coliseum that is Bristol Motor Speedway, let's check out the official results of the SimRacerHub.com 275. Of course, at the top of the grid, we have the electric human lightning bolt DSR electric machine of Adam Newton at the top. Kerry Tribute comes home second here tonight. Great run out of that 7. Blake Lothian finishes on the podium in that 43. Nathan Maurer finishes 4th. Jose Luis Rivera inside the top 5. Lance Miller in that 21 finishes 6th. Joey Stires in that 23. Great run on that 23. Finishes inside the top 10. I know he wanted to see Victory Lane here tonight. Finishes 7th. Hunter Parsons in that 15. 8th. Joey Doucette in that 16. 9th. Zach Hartwick will round out our top 10 in that 71. In the 11th position, we have Brandon Bullock in the 17. 12th, Brady LaBeouf, the boss man at 24. 13th position, Raul Meza in that 37. 14th spot, Ed Osborne in that 28. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. in that 33. Although all the cautions he had here tonight, he finishes inside the top 15. Brandon Broadfoot finishes 16th in that 22. Brian Chu in that 51 finishes 17th. Justin White in that 2 finishes 18th. Looking at the rest of our field there in the 19th position, we have Jason Morales in that 5. Rounding out our top 20, Tim Hammond in that 69. 21st position is going to have Jacob Klinkart. 22nd, Tyler Dittmer in that 34. Not the run that our regular season champion wanted here tonight. Robbie Richards going to finish 23rd. Taylor Peacock, 24th. Chris Kynes, 25th. Curtis Rogers, 26th. Ron Hunter, 27th. Steve Barnett, last week's winner, not going to have the same success here tonight. He's going to finish 28th. Tyler Daniels, 29th. Chris Blanchard will round out our field in the 30th position. At the race here tonight, we have one more race in round 1 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series playoffs. But without further ado, let's talk to our first top 14 finalists. A man who wins stage 2, moves throughout the rest of this race, conquers what had to be a record-setting performance in cautions, Adam. A record-setting performance with laps ran here at Nazareth. You conquered all of that. You got the checkered flag. Take us through how you got the job done.
First off, I want to say thank God and heck yeah, got the damn win. Um, uh, I got to thank Brian for helping me keep my composure that last couple laps. I was so bummed out when I saw that caution and I crossed that finish line. But the strategy, man, that's what won this race.
And if you could, I don't want you to give away too many trade secrets. Sort of talk about that strategy, because we saw you on those restarts. You had the restarts essentially locked down. Nobody could really touch you. And once you got out to that lead, we had a few different leaders in this race, but once you in particular got out there, you seemed untouchable in that clean air.
I learned a lot by staying out that second stage, and I told Brian, I said, if we can just make it to that next spot, I know what to do. I think we got a shot at this, and everything just fell in place. Everybody was really, really loose, and I kept seeing the leaders were driving in too hard, and I kept telling them, I was like, man, I'm gonna just take my time, save my tires, take my time, not get that right rear hot, and it worked.
And Adam, I think you just touched on it as well. When that last caution flew, I think your nose was just across that start finish line as the white flag came out. What did your team come over the radio and tell you there as far as keeping your composure and keeping you cool on that final restart?
He told me to keep my head down. He was like, "You got this." He was like, "Just nail the restart, do what you did." I think I ran my fastest lap with like either 3 or 4 laps to go in the whole session, and I just let the truck come to me. That was the big thing.
And Adam, as we have you in victory lane here tonight, the SimRacerHub.com winner, 275 winner. Adam, this will make you our first top 14 finalist with that win. What is a win not only at Bristol, that means a lot, but to go ahead and advance to the next round? What do those two things mean to you here tonight?
Next week I'm racing for points. That's it. Points and trophy. I don't have to worry about, what everybody else does. I can, try some strategy to win the race, roll the dice and hopefully try to get another win next week.
Well, Adam, you got the job done here tonight. The winner, Mr. Adam Newton in the 82 machine. Before we let you go, my man, has anybody wanted to shout out here in Victory Lane or any sponsors that helped you put that 82 in the winner circle here tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, Dan at DSR Electric. Thank you for sponsoring me, man. Um, I appreciate everything he does for us and the team. Jeff Sickles, Adam Newbert, Brian, Derek, Justin, Steve, Millie's Restaurant and Catering, A's Landscaping, and Lawn and Lawnscaping, a Jersey Smoke Shop, the Family Handyman, Darren Nail and Gun Repair, LaDanco, and Pam Pittman. And I want to say a shout out to Newbert. We still miss you. Need you back, bud.
Absolutely. And I think that goes for all of us here at Nazra, waiting for that 4 machine to be back in the field. But here tonight, Adam, can't take away from that huge victory. You conquer Bristol with an awesome performance. You locked it down at the end of this race to put the DSR electric machine into victory lane. The winner
Yeah.
here tonight, the SimRacerHub.com 275, Mr. Adam Newton. Congratulations from us here up in the booth. Cannot wait to see you next Friday night or next
Yeah.
Monday night.
Give you a shout out too for y'all doing an awesome job on the broadcast, and Brady too for getting this league going.
Appreciate that. We always love those compliments, but we always love it when new drivers put on a show. We wouldn't have anything to call. But we appreciate you taking the time with us here tonight. Adam, cannot wait to talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
That was the winner here tonight, the driver of the DSR electric machine, Adam Newton. And without further ado, it is time to check up with our second place finisher. And Adam, I wanted to check in with you, Mr. Adam Flieger. Do you have him on the radio? And it looks like he does not, but I'll get Kerry on the radio here. Kerry, you come home second here tonight, up 11 spots since the drop of the green flag. You survived everything at the end, including that buzzer beater caution to finish on the podium. Take us through your race here tonight.
Well, I thought my race was done when I self-spun and basically hit the inside of the fence, but I didn't really receive that much damage, and I came back in, got all my tires, and kind of fixed it up. And basically after that, I kind of worked my way through people and kind of dodged all the wrecks.
Yeah, let's talk about that. It was a caution-filled race. I think a record-setting amount of cautions in a NASCAR sanctioned race. Of course, is iRacing, all that good stuff. But Kerry, what did you think about the pace? Because I talked to Adam Flieger, a member of our broadcast booth here, and when that green flag was in the air and you guys were able to race, it was a competitive race. It's just a lot of start and go.
Oh yeah, I mean, all the start and go got people to save their tires and have different strategy there. But I mean, once we started going, I could get the bottom to work a little bit. I felt. I know everybody was kind of afraid of spinning out, but I felt like I was kind of pretty much steady, if not like kind of could push it a little bit better. But I made that one little mistake and kind of really screwed it up after that. So I had to reset myself. But yeah, I mean, the racing was fine. I thought once we started going, we just kept having stops.
Yeah, and Kerry, looking at that points, the playoff bracket coming into tonight's race, you were a little bit down there, just about 3 spots clear of that cutoff point. With tonight's performance coming home second, we go to Rockingham next week. Does this put a little bit more confidence in that 7 machine to sort of climb up that ladder to advance in that Fast 14?
We did get some stage points, so I believe
There we go.
we're sitting pretty good for next week. And even though it's starting back, it is what it is. I kind of really like that track, just kind of like Bristol. So I expect to make my way through the field, kind of like how I do every week. Seems like.
That's one way to do it, Kerry. You make your way through it. Make sure you're at the top. If not at the top, inside the podium. That's where you'll finish here tonight. A second place finish for Mr. Kerry Tribune. Kerry, before we let you go, my man, anybody you wanted to shout out or any sponsors that helped put that 7 on the podium?
First and foremost, my wife, Hoy. She lets me race out here with the boys. I'd like to thank everybody at A&G Compressor Parts, sponsor, and everybody at Brute Force Motorsports. I mean, we push each other every week. Robbie, Nate, Justin, Jacob, and even Mr. Joey Stires. He gets on our channel. We all push each other pretty hard. So, I mean, we don't give each other an inch out there.
You can tell from that style of racing, you guys practice with each other. You guys put each other through the ringer. And here tonight, one of you guys will finish on the podium. The driver of the 7 machine, Carrie Tribune, second here tonight. Carrie, we appreciate you taking the time with us here. Cannot wait to talk to you next Monday night.
All right. Thank you, Will.
Yes, sir. That was the driver of the 7 machine, Carrie Tribune, our second place finisher. Let's talk to a driver, though, who had some ups and downs in this race, had some adversity, raced through some challenges, got beaten and banged around a few times, had to go through some damage as well. Somehow, some way, finds himself on the podium. Mr. Blake Lothian, third here tonight. Some way, somehow, you made it up there, my man. Take us through your race.
Yeah, that was insanity. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, we qualified half decent tonight, and just kind of ran our own race. I don't even remember the first and second stage. That race was so long. All I remember is that I ended up spinning one time off of 4 or off on the front stretch, I think, and took out a few trucks. I apologize about that, but then some net code later on in the race. But ended up clawing our way back up, and I mean, yellow fell in the right spot on that last big crash really helped us as well.
And Blake, I know there's been some chatter about the sort of the caution flag amounts and the start and go pace of this race, but what'd you think of when we did get those green flag runs and sort of those different pit strategies we saw towards the end of this race?
So yeah, the pit strategies are pretty interesting. How it was all playing out and who was going to end up coming out where. My spotter and I, Ray, were trying to figure out what to do and what we were going to end up doing. So ended up working out for us, obviously. But of course, the stop and go nature was not enjoyable. But at the same time, running C fixed, B fixed, it was roughly the same thing. So kind of went into this expecting a little bit of chaos. So.
And Blake, of course, you're not one of those playoff drivers. One of those drivers that are basically just racing for checkered flags and wins, essentially. Do you feel any extra pressure from the rest of the field, from those championship drivers that you didn't feel during the regular season?
Of course, I guess pressure is a good way to put it, but I'd say more just try not to get in their way or messing up the races. So I apologize for spinning. I think I messed up a few contenders as well. So I apologize for doing that. The trucks were just so snappy loose. Like all of a sudden, just the trucks were just unstable. So I apologize about that. But it's just trying to maintain your own without, like I said before, getting in the way of these playoff guys.
Third here tonight from the driver out of Wellesley, Massachusetts, the 43 of Blake Lothian. And Blake, it seems like the last few months you're in and out of the top 5, top 3, top 10s. You're just sprinkling good finishes all over the folks at Nazareth. And here tonight, before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out or any sponsors you want to shout out that help all these results come to fruition?
Exactly, like you said, we're working on a lot of consistency here. I feel like it's starting to bear some fruit, like you said. But I have to thank GGT for coming on board. El Bandito Tequila, freaking amazing stuff. So thank them for being on board as well. Texas Law, Post ABC Kids, and we're working really hard to get back to the real racetrack as well. So stay tuned for some information and some stuff what we're working on. And of course, thank you for the broadcast. Try to keep this quick because I know you guys had an absolutely long night, and I really appreciate you guys for sticking with it all night and listen to the broadcast entire duration of the race.
Hey, if it wasn't for you guys putting in all the hard work, we wouldn't have anything to call up here in the booth. So I want to thank you guys for putting on a show on the racetrack. And Blake, third place finish here. Go have a sip of that tequila. You did good here. Podium after a long race. We appreciate you taking the time with us, my man.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
That was the driver of the 43 truck, Blake Lothian, our third place finisher here tonight, folks, on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But we'll wrap it up here. Myself, William Tiller, we had Wesley Outland on the broadcast here. Of course, he had to leave for other broadcast obligations. And Adam Flieger has been the man providing all the sights and sounds of tonight's race. As mentioned, Adam Newton in that DSR electric machine, he was just slowly but surely rising up through those power rankings, and tonight breaks through with a big win at Bristol in the second round, or second race of the first round of the playoff races. One race remains here in the first round, and that's Rockingham next week here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss that one. We're going to eliminate 6 drivers from the playoff field. Could be one of your favorites in the mix next week. But again, we want to invite you to go check out all of our pages here at Nazar, whether it's here on Monday nights, Friday nights. Go check us out on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, or here on YouTube. We also want to thank all of our Monday night sponsors that include that Serve Pro Caution logo that you saw all night long, Sim Racer Hub for being the incredibly detailed site that they are, as well as Glass Mechanic for being our Stage 2 winner sponsor. Once again, for all of us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we want to send a huge congratulations to Adam Newton in that 82 machine for picking up a huge victory. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's race. And we want to invite you back next week for more iRacing action. But for myself, William Tiller, Mr. Wesley Allen, and Adam Flieger, I want to wish you all a great night, and we'll see you on the track soon.